small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowes.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
To Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man. But I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017thetruth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Friday, October 11th, 2024. So want to alert you guys of some activities that are going to be going on this weekend relating to voting and getting out the vote and people knocking on doors and registering voters. So I was driving in this morning and I saw this bus, a tour bus, elaborately wrapped and painted and decorated. And it's very attention grabbing. In fact, I wanted to take a photo of it, but I have been told that using your cell phone when you're navigating traffic is not the best of ideas. Black Voters Matter is on a nationwide tour. They are stopping in battleground states, and they are going to cities and towns that have a majority of African American eligible and or registered voters to try and raise the level of excitement and attention. And so the bus, when I drove in this morning, was parked right on 6th Street, 6th and Michigan. I believe that's a Marriott hotel. It was right on the other side of the street of the Marriott Hotel. So I want to give you guys the details about where they're going to be in the city, the kinds of activities they're going to be embarking on in case you are looking for something to do and you want to get involved and help kind of raise the temperature of the upcoming election. Because as I said yesterday, it really seems like the Harris campaign is going into panic mode because there has been a surge by Donald Trump in the polls. And the tone and the theme of the commercials, even though I don't want to pay attention to these political ads because clearly my mind is made up and I have my own thoughts, feelings, and sentiments about the direction I want this country to go in. And for me, one candidate fits that bill better than the other. It's simple as that. I can make it complicated, but it really for me is as simple as that. But they're really doubling down on the cultural issues. If I see another commercial about they want boys and girls in the same bathroom, you know what's crazy? So do a lot of you, but for a different reason. But that's actually winning. Now they're doubling down on Tammy Baldwin's sexual preference. Is it a preference? Or when you're gay, you're gay. Her sexual orientation, that's the better word that I'm looking for. And they're doubling down on this stuff. I thought America was over this crap. But if there is just a negative connotation of Kamala Harris, anything connected to her, they also can associate with something that is negative, even if it's not true. I believe that the Democratic Party and the policies that it has enacted over the last 60 years is the most successful small d democratic organization the world has ever seen. Ever. As far as its accomplishments, as far as programs it has put in place that we know have lifted people out of poverty, that have given opportunities, that allow workers to unionize, that have raised wages, that have given workers more opportunity and more safety on the job. There is no more successful party, and it seeks to protect individuals that are vulnerable. Not just Americans that are vulnerable, but even people that come from other places that are vulnerable, because we all are human beings. Your national origin does not take away from your status as a human. And for you Christians, shouldn't y'all be loving all of God's children? But you don't. And I'm not getting into religion today, but I get so angry because Christians oftentimes are the worst ambassadors for Christianity. All right, so Black Votes Matter, they're going to be in Milwaukee all weekend. They got a busy schedule. If you want more details on the website for the activities that Black Votes Matter is going to be embarking in all throughout the city of Milwaukee, simply go to the Hughes Views Facebook group, and all of the things that I discuss here on this program and some things that I don't discuss on this program, I will share that information in the Hughes Views Facebook group. I'll post the link. They say, join us for our upcoming We Fight Back Wisconsin bus tour. It's going to be happening October 11th through the 13th. In a city near you, we're offering free food, T-shirts, resources, and more to support our mission to expand Black voter engagement and build grassroots progressive power. RSVPs are highly suggested. October 11th, which is today, from noon until 2 p.m., they will be at the Milwaukee Area Technical College Voter Fair. That's on 7th and State. From 3 until 6, the Black Votes Matter bus tour will be at Milwaukee Marshall versus the Pulaski JV and varsity basketball games at the Jimmy Banks Memorial Stadium. That's on 43rd and Fairmount, so that's between 3 and 6. Tomorrow, Saturday, October 12th, from 10 a.m. until 11:30, there will be Get Out the Vote door knocking with Wisconsin Voices in Sherman Park. The address they give here is 3526 West Fond du Lac Avenue. So it's Sherman Park tomorrow morning from 10 till 11:30. From noon until 1:30, they're doing Get Out the Vote door knocking with Workers Center for Racial Justice and the King's Cut Salon Barbershop, 50th and Hampton. And from 4:30 until 8 tomorrow, they're going to do more door knocking with Milwaukee Black and Working Families Party and Carefree Black Girl. Don't even know what that is. Carefree Black Girl. But it's at 5840 North 60th Street. And on Sunday, they're doing a GOTV rally at St. Mark AME Church on 16th and Atkinson. And then at noon, they'll be at the Infinite Church at 6750 North 43rd Street. So they're going to be all over the city this weekend in majority Black neighborhoods, because there is a concern that African Americans may not have the level of enthusiasm for Kamala Harris that they did for Barack Obama. And Barack Obama did some speaking engagements yesterday. In fact, he stopped by a field office in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he kind of chided Black people, but specifically us, Black men, and our support and enthusiasm for Kamala Harris is nowhere near what it was for him. I wonder why that is. I can say this, what I'm about to say, and I would say this directly to Barack Obama's face if I ever get him in the studio. I'm going to get Obama. I don't know when, but I'm going to get him here. I don't know why he wouldn't come to Milwaukee. And if you come to Milwaukee, why would you not come here? Barack, I know you hear me. Michelle, if you're listening too, tell your man to come to 1017 The Truth. Seriously. Because if Barack don't listen to me, he'll definitely listen to Michelle. and this is what I would say. I would say this, what I'm about to say to you, directly to Barack Obama's face. Kamala Harris is a better candidate than him, a better campaigner. She has a better resume than him. Dare I say, before she embarked on this mission to run for president, she was more prepared. Barack Obama had never been a vice president before. He had never served in that observational role. You know what the vice president is? Because a lot of folks don't really know what a vice president is, because some of y'all think that Kamala Harris should have stopped people from coming over from the border. Like, that's not what vice presidents do. Think about a vice president in these terms. They're an intern. That's what they're basically, a glorified intern learning about the presidency, the executive branch of government. They're still learning about the Senate, because that is the official duty of the vice president of the United States. Is you are president of the U.S. Senate. You preside over the Senate, even though they're not there a lot of the times. There's a lot of times the Senate is in session and Kamala's not there. She's not there for a lot of the discussion and the debate and the committees and the markup. She ain't got time for that. But that's the official duty. The unofficial duty is you wait for the president to become incapacitated or to die, and then you step in. They're like a substitute teacher. When the president's not available, they substitute. But they're an intern. I cannot imagine what you will learn in any period of time being in the vice presidential role about the ins and the outs of the job and the security briefings and the decisions that you have to make. But then you got to talk to the Department of Transportation Secretary and the Department of Education Secretary. And then you got some issues going on out in Utah. And then the Department of the Interior Secretary's got to be involved. And you always got some stuff going on with the Department of Homeland Security. And then you got all these foreign threats. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And the vice president just sits back and learns that. Kamala Harris had that opportunity for 4 years. Barack Obama didn't. You know what most Americans are concerned about? Doesn't matter where they're from, how much money they have, their level of education, any of that, their party affiliation. They're concerned about safety. They want public safety. Everybody wants to feel safe. Everyone wants to walk around outside and not get shot in the face or the neck or the back, anywhere. They don't want to get shot. They don't want to get their car jacked. Unless you're one of those Republican outside agitators seeking to come to Milwaukee to disrupt our elections, I hope your cars do get stolen. And if you don't want your car stolen, because they're always talking mess about Milwaukee. Oh, my God, Milwaukee is so violent. Oh, my God, it's Milwaukee. Then don't come. How's that sound? Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. If Milwaukee is that bad, don't come here. Well, no, let me take that back. Come here, spend your money, and then promptly leave. Take the freeway that you drove to get into Milwaukee. Get on the same freeway. It's still going to be there when your money is all spent here, and get back on it. That's fine. It's the best way for you to have a really good time and minimize the possibility of your vehicle getting stolen. Don't stay long. Everybody wants to feel safe. Public safety, law enforcement, something. We need more police, something, whatever. Kamala Harris Barack Obama has never enforced the law. Barack Obama has studied the law. Barack Obama has practiced the law. Barack Obama has made the law. And Barack Obama has, as president, he did execute the law, but he's never really enforced it. Kamala Harris has. And if one of the profound themes of this election cycle is anything other than truth versus lies and a felon versus a non-felon, a felon versus someone who puts felons in jail, someone who's done some raping, someone who has done no raping. If you had the lowest standard possible for wanting to pick a candidate, let's pick the candidate who's raped a lot less. Like 0 rapes. 0 found guilty of rape. That's pretty fair. But it's amazing how some of you be like, oh, rape isn't that bad. Don't judge him on his worst day. Maybe Donald Trump was just having a bad morning. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? She has actually enforced the law in a time in which we want more law enforcement. Donald Trump has never been a prosecutor. Donald Trump has been prosecuted. Big difference. Now, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back, and I want to get into some things that Barack Obama said specifically to us, to black men, And instead of actually listening to that man and trying to hear him out and what he's trying to say and his profound disappointment in us, we are now going to be mad at Barack Obama. I also think that black male leadership is incredibly rare. Like, who really even has to listen to black men? Who takes real guidance from black men? Because if we are not in control of our families, then nobody really sees us as leaders. And I say that we're not in control of our families because we have this thing that we are dealing with as black men. It's the strong black woman. So you may get information or advice from a black man. He may tell you which way to go. He may give you leadership. He may give you some direction. But you know what a lot of people will then default to? Well, okay, I understand, black man. That's your version of leadership. That's the direction you want us to go in. But what does your mama think? Well, did you talk to your wife about that? Because I don't know if there's any black man that can compete with, whether it's true or not, the stereotype of the strong black woman. So even when we are supposed to be in leadership positions, it's not looked at as credible all of the time. Some take break, come back, talk about what Barack Obama said to us. He aimed it at us. He even said the brothers, and how he chided us for not supporting Kamala like we supported him. And he thinks there's only one reason for that. He said it's sexism. We're going to discuss on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, the election is less than a month away, and we are excited about another episode of The Truth on Politics on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This show engages in a thoughtful debate on the local and national elections and the policies which impact our black communities the most. Do not miss The Truth on Politics on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Dr. Ken Harris, Tori Lowe, Ben Jamin, Damian Elzie, and Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth and streaming live on YouTube.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
Dear Dad, I don't say this enough, but you're my hero. I know you're not feeling this election, but please do me a favor. Vote. Our Black history, my access to healthcare, and our voting rights are under attack. Extreme politicians want to take away our voice and our vote. Our future, my future, is on the ballot right now. You have the power to make sure my voice is heard. Please, Dad, use your power. Vote like my life depends on it. Paid for by NAACP.
Get your tickets now to the Milwaukee Gala that helps empower communities and change lives. Join us at the new rooftop ballroom of the Baird Center for Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Black and White Ball, celebrating legacy and impact. It's all happening on Saturday, November 2nd, with entertainment by Shantae Moore. This event will sell out. Get your ticket and sponsorship information now at tmul.org and click on the Black and White Ball link. That is tmul.org.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Ray says, I think the reason that black men don't like Vice President Harris is because she's married to a white man. That's my opinion. I think it is just your opinion. We don't care about that. Never comes up, never gets mentioned. We don't care. I don't think that we care as black men who black women marry because we're not marrying them. Ketanji Brown, who was the first African-American woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court, got a white husband. That don't come up at all. If there was a real issue and problem amongst black men, because black men are vocal. If we are nothing else, we speak our minds, because that's one thing that we are able to do with great freedom. We speak our minds through our creativity, through our art, right? If that was an issue, then we would have a collection of black women that are in leadership positions that are married to white men. We would talk about it, we'd promote it. But we don't care about that. Because here's the thing. So most of the men, this is my opinion now. Well, a lot of stuff is my opinion, but this is really my opinion. Most black men that have an issue with, I'm going to take Kamala Harris as an example. Madam Vice President, I should be more respectful. Most black men that have an issue with her being married to a white man would not be marriage material for her anyway. Does that make sense? You gonna get mad at a woman that never would have chose you in the first place. I just want people to be happy. If you find somebody that you love and they love you back, I don't care. I don't care if one of the people only has one arm and they can only give half hugs. As long as you're happy and you feel fulfilled and they make you feel powerful when you're with them, I'm all for it. Let's talk to Novia. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm good, Sharon. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's on your mind, Novia?
So I'm here in Milwaukee with you. I want to know, what can we do to reach this youth before November 5th? Because everyone I speak to, and I'm basically beating them down, is hollering they vote don't count. So what can we do to reach them to make them understand?
Oh, boy, that's a tough one. We have to find a way to connect the young people to how rules and laws will impact their lives. And if they think their vote doesn't count, I bet you they don't feel the same way about money. A lot of the youth, let's say they wear Nike shoes, and they may say, oh, this one pair of Nike shoes that I bought doesn't make Nike or Michael Jordan rich. But it does, because as a collective, when you all buy Nike shoes or Michael Jordan shoes, the collective has the power to make Nike and Michael Jordan rich. I think we just feel very small and we feel like no one is listening to us, but it's not about the individual vote. It's about the collection of vote. When you get your friends, when you get your family, when you get your colleagues and your associates to vote, sometimes just that number of people can decide an election. There's been elections for aldermen. There's been elections for county supervisor that have been decided by less than 7 votes. There's 7 people in one household. So if we can find a way to connect who they are, what they like, to policy and to elections, it might be easier. But there is no one-size-fits-all approach, because young people all have different understandings of voting and politics. I think that's where our public school system fails, because they need to have a basic understanding of civics. Because some kids know full well how important voting is. Other kids have no idea what it means whatsoever. So because you have different levels of understanding, you got to approach these young people based on what they already know and think about the whole election system.
But it's so many of them, and we need their vote.
Well, we've also failed as a community. And if you're not, like, if parents aren't teaching kids, then there's nothing that let me say this, Novi. If parents are not teaching and instructing their children that this is a part of your responsibility, it's hard for somebody who doesn't have influence over those kids to tell them what to do.
Right. You're right.
So to reach the kids, we probably should reach the parents, because you ain't going to have a household where the kids vote and the parents don't. Either they all vote or none of them do.
Right. Well, we all marching together, me and mine.
Good. Well, keep up the good work,
Thank
and
you.
let me know how it goes. All right, Novia, thank you. How do we reach the youth? Young people have people that they look up to, that they admire. That's why you'll see celebrities sometimes weighing in on the election. Because it's young people that look up to certain celebrities or music artists more than their own parents. But we always talk about stuff starting in the home. Civics education, if it's faulty in our public school system, which it is, then the parents have a responsibility. Do they not? Am I wrong? The parents have a responsibility to educate and inform their children about all of the things that they will need to be successful that the school is not teaching them. I didn't learn much of anything in high school. I learned maybe somewhat kind of how to study a little bit of a study work ethic. But high school taught me how to get along with different groups of people. That's what I learned. Everything else that I needed to get by and to understand the world, I got a lot of that from my parents and just from the developmental environment that I was raised in. School is very, very limited. And I think that a lot of parents outsource everything to the school, including disciplining your kids. And that's a big difference that I see nowadays. There was a period of time where we went to school already disciplined. Now, we may not do a damn thing once we get in the classroom, but we weren't really acting up because we already had discipline instilled in us. We had a profound sense of consequences to our actions. You know what I mean? Now, I don't even think the discipline is just different. Either the parents are too laissez-faire with their kids or they're punching them in the face and the kids are abused. I don't know if there's a lot of middle ground. Let's talk to whoever this is. Hi, person on line 2 whose name I don't know.
Oh, you talking to me?
Oh!
Wait, look.
No, you look.
Wait a minute. Now, you said one arm, so I thought you were giving me a hint. But if you still got a stiff neck, then I go back into my groove, then I'm not calling no more because you won't let me redeem myself and come down there. However, I will make a comment about what you were talking about, if you don't mind.
I kind of mind. I mind a little bit. I'm going to let you go make your little comment. I'd rather you make your comment than think you're going to come here and play that raggedy saxophone.
Still won't let me redeem myself.
No, I will not.
With your stiff neck. Okay. Now, here's how.
Say something, old man. You talk about my neck one more time, okay? You talk about my neck one more again, and your neck is going to get broke. And you got a little neck. You got a little rich cracker neck. I could snap your neck real easy. Show little neck.
I better make my comment before some calls me to hang up and you hang up. So let me make my comment right quick. You know, the fact that Kamala Harris, she ran for president as if her man pushed her or okayed her. I mean, he didn't okay her because she's a person of her own, but he didn't hinder her in any way. And so he seems to me like a good man. He let her really be herself because Biden didn't even know she was going to pick her for vice president, and he ended up doing it. And how she ran for attorney general, and that's just I'm very happy about that. He's a good man because whatever color he is. And, you know, that is basically my comment. The other comment right quick is, my goodness, white woman, she picked a white man. She got a white man for vice president. She can't bleach herself white. My goodness. Hold your nose and vote for a white woman. And that's about it. And I'll see you later with your ornery self, okay?
No, you will not see me later.
Oh, I sure won't. I'm on my groove. I'm not calling until you let me come to your place and redeem myself.
All right, Bob. It's been nice talking to you, man. All right, then. All right,
bye-bye.
It's been nice. All right.
You hang up.
Oh, that's easy. Don't tell me to hang up. That's simple. That's the easiest thing I'm going to do all day. You guys heard what he said, right? He's not going to call until I let him come back down to the studio and play his old tarnished brass saxophone to redeem himself. So nice talking to you, Bob. It's over with, buddy. So we won't be talking to you anymore. Stay safe out there. No.
You're a nice guy.
No, Rick. And so when you say that, Bob will take that as, oh, well, then I'm coming to see Rick. Then you've never seen the production that it takes to, because he can't walk.
He can't?
He has a fall risk. No, Bob will fall and hurt himself. You know what kills elderly people more than anything else? Falling. If Bob falls here and dies, like, that would be our fault. So unless you want to go and, because he's going to park his car in the middle of the street. That's the first thing. So, Rick, unless you want to be responsible for moving his car, picking him up off his feet and carrying him in here, setting up his saxophone, we got to get a special chair.
I can't even leave the producer room to go get some water half the time.
All right, well, then guess what? Bob can't come. And I tell you, want to leave the producer room to get some water? I'll tell you something, Rick. You want to leave the producer room to go to Denny's and get you a Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. You can do that as far as I'm concerned.
But you cold, though. You can hold it down by yourself. All right.
Exactly. In fact,
you goated.
I think I know how to do this. They told me I know how to send myself to commercial.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
I get it. The cost of rent, groceries, and utilities is too high. So here's what we're going to do about it. We will lower housing costs by building more homes and crack down on landlords who are charging too much. We will lower your food and grocery bills by going after price gougers who are keeping the cost of everyday goods too high.
Kamala Harris's economic plan is focused on lowering costs for families, so you can keep more of your paycheck. That starts with the cost of housing. For first-time home buyers, she's offering $25,000 in down payment assistance. To build wealth, her plan offers up to $50,000 in new startup tax deductions. This is exactly how we can build generational wealth and strengthen our community, so we can get the chance to do more than just get by, but to get ahead.
You work hard for your paycheck. You should get to keep more of it. As president, I'll make that my top priority.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
The Wisconsin Black Chamber is in the house. Join us in October for our third Thursday networking event featuring the pitch competition. October 17th at the Sherman Phoenix, 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue, 5 to 9 p.m. If you've been planning to pitch, come on out. This is one of the last 2 chances to qualify for the finale in December.
Entrepreneurs, take the challenge every second and third Saturday at our business boot camp at the Chamber headquarters, 2900 West Fleet, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Our next 501c3 class is October 24th at the Chamber, 2900 West Valete Street, from 6 to 8 p.m.
Save the date, November 29th to December 1st. It's the Black Friday Weekend Diverse Business Expo. There'll be speakers, fashion shows, and our music fest. We are looking for a hairstylist specializing in natural hair, braids, twists, or a barber. Contact us if you're working on growing your clientele.
Stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at WI Black Chamber and visit our website at twbcc.com.
So you don't miss out
on what we have
going on.
Sybaris Pool Suites. Romantic, luxurious, affordable. A place where romance touches paradise and the memories of a lifetime are made. Sybaris offers a variety of room styles, including the exquisite Chalet Suite, which spans 3 levels and features your own private swimming pool with cascading waterfall, soothing whirlpool tub, a cozy fireplace, and much more to make your stay unforgettable. They are located in Mequon, just north of Milwaukee. Take a virtual tour at Sybaris.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Green Bay Packers are just a few days away from their Week 6 matchup at home on Sunday. They'll have to be without tight end Luke Musgrave, who's likely headed to the IR with an ankle injury. Kickoff between the Packers and Arizona Cardinals set for noon on Sunday. Over to basketball, where the Milwaukee Bucks were back in preseason action as Giannis made his debut in front of the home crowd against the Lakers.
Lillard moving the other direction, feeds it off to Giannis. Giannis going down the lane. Look out below. A big one-hand slam, and Giannis
coming away with that trademark mean mug going the other way.
Giannis would play just 20 minutes and finish with 20 points. The Bucks would fall to the Lakers, though, by a final score of 107-102. Giannis nor Dame played in the second half. Over to baseball, the Yankees advancing to the ALCS with a 3-1 win over the Royals. They'll await the winner between Cleveland and Detroit, deciding Game 5, which is set for Saturday. And lastly, over to college football, where the Wisconsin Badgers will look to keep winning. They'll head out to face Rutgers on the road. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. on Sunday. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown team. Member FDIC.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Obama admonishes black men for hesitancy in supporting Kamala Harris. Are any African-American black Negro men courageous enough to be honest about why you are hesitant in supporting Kamala Harris, or why you don't want to? And if you have the courage enough to explain why, I won't try to convince you. I just want to hear why. And I wonder if anybody will be honest about it. Because here's the thing. If you ain't voting for her, there's a lot of people that will. But I just want, as an African-American man that has a vision for this country, this state, this city, myself, my friends, and my family, I'm convinced, right? I don't need a whole bunch more convincing that the choices here are polar opposites, and there's one that just makes a lot more sense to me. But for those people that don't see the world as I do, and there's a lot of people that don't, nor do I want people to see the world as I do. I like different perspectives. In fact, let me tell you a little secret on how I prepare some of my shows. They either start with an idea. An idea could be like something that's happening in the city, something that's making news, something that's right in front of us, something that is like concrete and tangible, and I may talk about that. Or my show starts with a feeling. And if I have a feeling, I want to find some information and some facts and some journalism to back up my feeling, whatever that feeling is. The feeling might be, I think the Democrats are okay. I think they're great. That's my feeling. But instead of looking for news and articles and journalism that confirm that I feel the Democrats are okay. Remember, I'm starting with a feeling. I wake up in the morning like, what do I feel today? And it could be any damn thing. And I may say, today I think the Democrats are an okay political party, one worth giving my vote to, okay? So I'll try to find some information and some articles about what the Democrats have done and how they have been productive and the people they have helped and blah, 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 whatever. But instead of finding stuff that confirms, I want to find things that deny. So if I have a feeling that the Democrats are great, I want to find all the information, all the articles, and all of the good, real journalism that say the Democrats are bad. Because when I have a feeling, I want to challenge my own feelings. I want to vet my own feelings through an opposite point of view. And then when I search very desperately for information to disprove my feeling, a lot of times my feeling is right. Because the information that exists, the journalism that exists, and the publications that exist about my feeling outweigh those that go contrary to it. So a lot of you guys have your sentiments about things, okay? You believe these things very strongly. Try to find something that disproves it, and it will change your whole perspective on life. I said I wasn't going to bring up religion, but y'all just forced me to. If you are a Christian, and Christians will never do this because they'll find stuff that will hurt their feelings. But if you're a Christian, unflappable belief in Christianity and all of the things and all of the Bibles, there's many Bibles. Some are wrapped in leather, some are not. There's a King James, probably a King LeBron James Bible somewhere if you look hard enough. Try to find things that are fact-based that disprove Christianity. Because if you want to be thorough in your prognostications and your evangelical stances, try to find things that disprove. And you may find things that disprove, like, I might need to shift my thinking. Or you'll become even more firm in your Christian beliefs. Try it. Instead of just believing stuff and looking up and researching things that confirm what we believe, because the internet is here to trick you. Because of what you look at, what you like, what you post, what you share, the internet already knows who you are. You can go to Google, if you have a Google account, a Gmail account or whatever, Google has a profile on you that is so accurate, they're willing to share it with you. You actually can go and look at the profile, the information that Google has about you. Google has my address, they have my profession, they have how much money I make, they have where I like to go out to eat. And like they have just the stuff that I search, right? So Google can just send me more information when I search something that confirms who I already think that I am. So we sometimes have to push back against these algorithms that are just giving us information to confirm how we feel. And so for those African-American men that are anti-Kamala Harris, and you have your feelings and your reasons why, look for information that goes contrary to how you feel. This is also a way in which we as a society can gain empathy, because we think that our way is the only way. It is the biggest downfall of human beings, especially if we need to live in a multiracial, multi-generational, multicultural society. Our way is not always the best way. Instead of thinking you have all the answers, ask someone else. Get a different perspective. If you have sentiments and thoughts and feelings, like stuff you believe in strongly, look for the opposite of your feelings and see if that further confirms your beliefs or it may change your mind. And I said I was going to talk about what Obama said this segment. I want to hear from African-American men in a non-judgment zone as to why they don't support Kamala Harris or why they're not sure or why they, still have lingering questions. Maybe it's things about her record. I'm just curious to see what it is. And if there are reasons why you are not supporting her, have you looked at reasons and researched reasons why you should? Just curious. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, join us live for the Truth Summit on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the 3rd Street Market Hall. This exclusive in-person roundtable will examine the state of finances, education, and politics for Black Milwaukee. Dr. Ken Harris will be joined by expert guests for a lively debate and insights that you can't afford to miss. We've got it covered on the pulse of Black Milwaukee. Get your tickets to the Truth Summit by visiting 1017thetruth.com. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in Friday night as we have a battle for first place in the Greater Metro Conference. The Hilltoppers host conference rival, the Sussex-Hamilton Chargers. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on 1017 The Truth. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
So you hear
about this Project 2025?
Yeah, man. And if the part I read is like the other 900 pages, we're in real trouble.
What's it say?
They want to make it harder to vote, cut Social Security and Medicare, and even go after small businesses.
They're coming after my business.
Afraid so.
Plan is to take money from businesses like yours to give rich folks more tax breaks.
No.
So y'all gonna use your power and vote.
Of course.
And vote like our lives depend on it. Paid for by NAACP.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Former President Barack Obama yesterday made a direct, impassioned plea to black men to support Vice President Kamala Harris, a key demographic she is struggling to mobilize. Admonishing, it says in the article them, but I'm going to say us, admonishing us for thinking about sitting out the presidential contest, as well as suggesting sexism might be at play. Oh, we know that it is. Men, we know when we're being sexist, but we couch it in other language. We'll say, well, I don't know what her record is. I don't know about her policies. It's sexism. Well, what has she done? No, that's totally sexism. And I'm going to use this example. Like a racist won't come out and say, I'm not going to vote for or support this black person. They're going to say, well, I don't know if their qualifications are up to snuff. They know why they're not voting for that person, but it's politically incorrect to be honest. And so they'll make up excuses, right? Like, I don't know about their background seems kind of questionable. Like, I don't know. They did some unusual things when they were in college. I don't know if I could support that black candidate. We know why you don't want to support the black candidate. Look at all the things that Trump has said and has done, and he has lost no support. I don't know how much he's gained, but he hasn't lost any. And you know who the people are that are sticking by him, right? And you know why they're sticking by him. And you also know those same people that are not going to support Kamala Harris, and it's not because they don't know what her damn record is. Y'all got the internet. Y'all look up anything and everything that you have the slightest curiosities about. And if you think that this election is a priority, you would look up that information too. But we know what's sexism. Men know when we feel that women aren't qualified to do certain things. But if we say that, it might be taken as offensive, or you might get canceled. You see. So that's why we'll say stuff like, yeah, but, you know, she was the border czar. Y'all didn't even know what a border czar is. I don't even know what a border czar is. It doesn't even exist. They're like, well, she did something, the border. No, some of us don't want to vote for a woman. Let's talk to Ted. Hello, Ted. How are you today?
I'm all right. How are you, Sherwin?
I'm doing good. What's on your mind, Ted?
Just to help people get through these emotions, their feelings, and it's a psychological thing, really, too. Living in America for so long, you know, there's issues with masculinity and gender roles. Her history, her past profession of being a prosecutor, and her shade too. Like, you wouldn't believe how easily people are intimidated or have these feelings of insecurities.
You think her being a prosecutor has something to do with how people feel about her now?
Well, think about the whole aspect of black culture.
Okay.
From the effect of prison culture to pop culture, and the imagery of men.
Okay, so is her being a former prosecutor, is that a threat to black people? Is that a reason why we may not like her?
It'll make some people hesitant. Also, her shade too. You know, she identifies as a black woman, but we also have a serious issue with colorism.
Okay, so this is as are you speaking as a black man? That we have an issue with colorism, even though she went to an HBCU when literally most black men have never stepped foot on an HBCU campus?
This is true. Well, a lot of people don't even know, don't know anything about her. Like they say things about what has she done. Well, one, she's a vice president.
Yeah.
So what could she have done already?
That's true.
That's another fine point to make. Her policies. What policies? Like, she was kind of an understudy for somebody else.
Well, she was in the Senate, so she does have a voting record being a senator. If people were curious as to where she stands on the issues of the day, they probably could look those up. But the thing about her being a prosecutor, I find it interesting and kind of rich that we change our perspectives on prosecutors. Black people love prosecutors. We love them. We love them when they convict people like Derek Chauvin. We love prosecutors when they convict people like Donald Trump on 34 felonies. We love prosecutors when they send bad police officers to jail for 25 years. We absolutely love them. And so there might be a fallacy that, she just put a bunch of black men in jail when she was a prosecutor. Let me be abundantly clear about this. Prosecutors can't put nobody in jail. Evidence does. DNA does. Fingerprints do. Cameras do. Text messages and cell phone records put people in jail. All the prosecutors do is say, here, look at the evidence.
Before I lose time, I want to stress one more thing, too, that nobody's talking about. The admiration and envy of Donald Trump. His celebrity status, his wealth, and how he kind of, overthrew the government, that's something else to really consider, too, why people might be hesitant to vote for Kamala. Right. That masculinity and, seizing control in a quote-unquote masculine manner.
I think you're onto something with that, Ted. And thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
All right, have a good day.
All right, Ted. No, I think so, because Donald Trump he's a rebel. He wanted to drain the swamp, but guess what? Now he swims in it. He is the swamp. There is a rebellious streak in a lot of us because we hate America, what America has done. America's not fair, and America is racist, and America is biased, and America has stopped me from realizing my dreams. You know what Donald Trump says? America has done the same thing to me. Let's overthrow the government together because it hasn't been fair to you. It hasn't been fair to me either. It hasn't been fair at all. It's been a very bad America. Let's overthrow it. But here's what we fail to realize as black people. In the event that Donald Trump wins and he gets his way, and it'll be way worse this time than it was last time, way worse. You think that we're going to be spared? They're already connecting the dots with anyone with our skin hue could be a Haitian that eats cats. Donald Trump and the Republicans can't strike out directly against black men. Now, individual black Republicans or black candidates, rather, whether they're black or not, can say negative things about black people. But Donald Trump can't. But what he'll do is he'll use a proxy. The proxy, they're eating the cats and the dogs. I mean, they're black people that he was talking about. And the other thing that we are still confused about, which is deadly for us to be confused about this, we think that a white racist makes a distinction between us, African-American blacks born here, citizens here, and black people that come from another country. They make zero distinction. They're not even smart enough to make that kind of distinction. But for some reason, we think if we join forces with them, that we will be spared. You're going to be the first ones hung because you'll be easier to catch because you're going to be right there next to the Republicans. Some of y'all might even show up at a Republican watch party. And then when Trump wins and it's a bunch of black folks, you're going to be in the Republican watch party watching Donald Trump's votes come in. All of a sudden, you're going to hear the sound of what it sounds like construction. Like, this is unusual. I'm at a watch party and Donald Trump is winning the 2024 presidential election. Why do I hear the sound of wood and nails? And you look behind you, they built a gallows, and it just happens that the rope fits your neck. Y'all know that you can't trust them. And you know that you can't trust them. But for some reason, there's some African-American men that think if we cozy up to them, we'll be spared. And let's imagine this. Even if they did spare you, they're not going to spare me. They're not going to spare the rest of us. They're not going to spare your mother. They're not going to spare your grandmama. They're not going to spare your auntie. They certainly ain't going to spare your baby mama, which some of you might be okay with. So if you think that you will be spared because you find some kind of comfort in looking up to Donald Trump, the daddy, He will then incinerate the rest of us. So what benefit is that to you? Janice, I'd like to take your call, but I only have 32 seconds until my next break. So, Denise, if you hang in there with me and you stay patient, when I come back from my required intermission, I will be talking to you first and foremost. If you want to be like Denise or Ted or the man formerly known as Bob, because he said he's not calling anymore unless I let him come in studio and play his tarnished saxophone. Not only is the saxophone tarnished, so is his playing ability. The phone number is 833-212-1017. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, 1017 Day, aka Truth Day, is next Thursday. And to celebrate, we will be hosting a Truth Spirit Week. During Truth Spirit Week, we will be giving away 10 $25 gift cards to Pfister Cafe during all of your favorite 1017 The Truth shows. So make sure you are tuned in all day from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. so you don't miss your chance to win a $25 gift card to the Pfister Cafe in downtown Milwaukee. Thank you, Truth Nation, for being the best fan base in the country. We truly do it for you. Milwaukee, Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Hello, Milwaukee. Did you know that the average American doesn't get enough fiber in their diet, and this can affect everything from your cholesterol, blood sugar, and your weight? We have a special offer for Truth listeners that you can take advantage of today on our wonderful fiber gummies. Buy one bottle of fiber gummy for $13.50 and get free shipping. Call now, 800-632-0559. That's 800-632-0559. Or go to invitehealth.com and use promo code MIL1. That's MIL1. Get your gummy today.
Get your tickets now to the Milwaukee Gala that helps empower communities and change lives. Join us at the new rooftop ballroom of the Baird Center for Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Black and White Ball, celebrating legacy and impact. It's all happening on Saturday, November 2nd, with entertainment by Shantae Moore. This event will sell out. Get your ticket and sponsorship information now at tmul.org and click on the Black and White Ball link. That is tmul.org.
At Milwaukee College Prep, they believe that every child deserves a chance to reach their full potential. Unfortunately, in Milwaukee, this is not always the case. Research shows the educational opportunity gap between white and black students is twice the national average. This is why Milwaukee College Prep is committed to eliminating this gap. In fact, MCP scholars tested advanced or proficient at a rate nearly 8 times higher than the other predominantly black public schools in Milwaukee. Provide your student with the best educational opportunity by visiting MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com. College bound, character strong.
Truth Nation, Spirit Week is here, and we're celebrating the truth for 1017 all week long. Starting Monday, it's Throwback Monday. Rock your old school fits and live in nostalgia. Tuesday, Twin Day. Find your twin and show off your outfit. I want to be like Steve. Wednesday, Jersey Day. Rep your team loud and proud. And Thursday is 1017 Truth Day. Rock your truth fit and join us for a live radio show outside the studio. That's right, Truth Nation. Come see us in person and then celebrate with us for a special happy hour at 4 p.m.
Love the sound of that.
Plus, join Jammin' with Juice after dark from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I'm flaming, bitch.
That Thursday night on 1017 Day for an epic show. Join Spirit Week for 1017 Day on 1017 The Truth, where every day is a Truth Day.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Again, it's Friday and we're not getting paid. When we get paid, Rick, you told me last time. It's sometime soon, right? I don't even know when you get paid. It don't matter if people know when we get paid or not. A lot of people get paid on the 15th and the 30th. Okay, well, why does it sound like my mic goes out? All right, we're good. Just because I got paid doesn't mean I'm going to have all my paycheck in my pocket. If you have your whole paycheck in your pocket, you deserve to get robbed. Nobody has. Who does that? Hi, I would like to cash my check. My check is direct deposit. I haven't gotten a paper check in, I'm not going to lie to y'all, for a wage job in, what year is this?
2024.
I haven't gotten a paper check for a wage job since 2007.
I got one this year.
No, I'll take that back. WNOV gave me a check.
Yep. Sure did.
And I left there. Well, that was 2018, so 6 years. I don't like going to the bank. I do my banking online.
Horrible. I like to open up my banking app and boom, it just be right there.
You like to stare at all them zeros, all that money, all that dust, that money.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Rick. I got to talk to Denise. Denise has been waiting for like 45 hours. Hi, Denise. Thank you for holding. You're on the air with me and Rick, maybe.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Sherwin. You make so many great points. There's no convincing people at this point voting for VP Harris. If they haven't decided, they're not going to. I made that consciously decision. But if anyone really wants to know about Kamala Harris, she has a book out, The Truth or something like that. In her last book, it was written, I think, about 2018 or somewhere in there. It gives a lot of input of what she is and what she's about, and it's very convincing. I already had thought of or knew I was going to vote for her, but it makes a point of what she is about, and she's so much totally different than number 45 and his nonsense and weirdness. And the other thing is teaching your young people that it's important to vote. It comes along with raising your children. That's one of the points that should be made. When you're raising your children, taking them to the poll with you, just showing them how important it is, giving them pointers. My young people that are voting age, I talk to them all the time. And even being away from the state, I told them how important it was to vote. Do absentee ballots. They got their absentee ballots. They're submitting them. It's important, guiding them through, But the guys and people that have decided not to vote for her because she's a prosecutor and all this other stuff, well, okay, don't vote for her, okay? Because you guys are going to reap the havoc that this other guy's going to give us in the state. And that's all I have to say. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and, we can't convince everybody.
Thank you, Denise. I appreciate your call.
All right. You have a great day and have a great weekend. Don't spend all your money in one place.
I'll guarantee I won't do that. All right, Denise. Denise left with some advice, kind of like Al does. Like Al will also leave with some parting advice, too, and it's usually something along the lines of do everything you big enough to do, and if you like whipped cream, then do it twice, or whatever Al may say when he leaves his parting advice. Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot we can say that will convince somebody. I know that the people that I look up to, the people that I admire, the people that I aspire to be, they're all supporting her. So I have a community of people that I can engage with that are also supporting her. And there are people that I emulate. There are people who are like a North Star to me, and people whose leadership that I follow, and they're supporting her. But I have my own reasons as well. Another very important point brought up by Denise and other people who bring this up too. When you take your children with you to vote, they're much more likely to just see it as a part of what they do as an adult. It's just a part of the responsibility that you have. Now, as your children see you vote, that is a perfect opportunity to explain to them why it's important, why you do it, what it means, and then you can steep them in the history of it. Like, that's where it needs to start. I remember going into the voting booth, standing in line with both of my parents, and going into the voting booth. Do y'all remember back in the day? I was a little kid, so this is early 80s. The first time I remember going to a voting booth, I probably was 5. And my parents were voting to reelect Jimmy Carter in 1980. Voting booths, it was a booth. It was a contraption with a curtain, and it had a bunch of levers. Do y'all remember that? You got to be old to remember them old school voting booths. Not the little blue cubicles that we have in Milwaukee. Not the little flimsy cubicle. If you lean on that cubicle, it'll fall over. It was a contraption with levers. It was a mechanic. I don't even know how it works. And when we were on commercial break, I looked up a picture of a retro voting booth. I would walk in there and not even know what the hell to do. It's like metal levers. Like, chink, 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 chink. It looks like the you ever seen, like, probably not, but have you ever seen like a ship, like a aircraft carrier, like down in the engine room? It's stuff moving, and it's gears and it's levers, and you have somebody in there and you push a button here and steam comes out. That's what an old school voting booth used to look like. Chink, chink, chink. And our mom would say, "Look out, boy! Here comes some steam." And I didn't even know how it made sense how you vote. Now I get a Scantron piece of paper. Here, take your pen and mark next to the candidate. Do you wanna? It used to be. Let's talk to Norman. Norman, you remember them old school voting booths with all them levers?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, and you know, they didn't even say nothing about people doing it right or wrong. You know, it wasn't all that fraud like it is now. You didn't hear people need to go to, what is it called? Governor, text. I mean, what is it called? When you want to find out where you vote at?
myvote.wi.gov.
Yeah, I think you should keep saying that to people, because a lot of people don't even know, you know, the new people don't even know where to vote at.
Okay, so I will keep saying that, but are you done, Norman? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm done. Have a good one, bro.
All right, thank you. Norman always, like, he's in a rush, and sometimes it makes me feel like I'm in a rush, but I'm clearly not in a rush. I still have 2 more hours of chat with you guys. So I will, but here's the thing. Uninformed voters, do not listen to my show. I've known that for years. But sometimes I think that an uninformed voter may come across one of my broadcasts, usually by accident. But they don't listen to my show because it's not going to make any sense to them. I once said that this program is for people that sit in the front of the class, the people that want to know, the people that desire and crave knowledge and information and want to talk with like-minded people. This is not for the people in the back of the class that want to, what do you do in the back of the class? I remember what I used to do when I sat in the back of the class. And there is a difference between those that sat in the back of the class and those that sat in the front of the class. When I was in college, I sat in the front of the class because, like, hell, I'm paying for this. I'm going to get all the information I can possibly get. But when I was going to, like, high school, you know what happened in the back of the classroom? People would, like, shoot dice. They would gamble. They would probably have sex in the, like, well, the sinister stuff would happen in the back of the class. And I also think it's a microcosm for society. I've had the privilege, and I call it a privilege, to still stay in contact with a lot of people I grew up with, a lot of people. And those that were studious from the beginning, because it was always teachers' pets. Remember the teacher's pet? They bring the teacher an apple. I ain't never bring a teacher an apple. I think my mother gave me an apple one day. I'm not kidding you. Emma gave me an apple to give to my teacher. I think it was in like 3rd or 4th grade. You know what I did? I ate the apple. I ate the apple like it was the Garden of Eden. Here, Sherwin, give this. And you put the apple on the teacher's desk. I never understood where that came from, but all the teachers, especially like when I was in elementary school, they always had an apple on their desk, and there'd always be a student who would bring them an apple. I got one apple one time. Mama said, "Here, get this to Miss Roan." I remember Miss Roan. Miss Roan was cool. Miss Roan was my 1st grade teacher. But then when I got to high school in Brown Deer, she was like a guidance counselor. So she stayed with Brown Deer since forever. Right? She might be dead now. I hope she's not. Miss Roan, if you're living, thank you for being a nice lady. Mama gave me an apple. I ate the apple. But the sitting in the front of the class and sitting in the back of the class is a microcosm for what society will often be. The people that sat in the front of the class are ahead of the people in society that sat in the back. Now, you can work your way up, right? You can start off in the back of the class playing craps and having sex and smoking marijuana cigarettes in the back of the class, because the back of the class is where the wild ones are. They don't want to pay attention to what the teacher's talking about. They're just in the back of the class, like grooming prostitutes. I don't know what they do in the back of the class. It's been a long time since I've been in the back of the class. But that's what they do back there. But they don't care about the schooling and the lesson and the learnings and the homeworks. The kids in the front of the class do. And the kids that are in the front of the class, they stayed in the front academically. And a lot of times if you stay in the front academically, you will have more vocational options than the ones that are in the back of the class doing human trafficking or whatever they do in the back of the class. I don't know. It's usually a cloud of smoke. If you look to the back of the class, you can't see it very well because they're smoking marijuana cigarettes. Let's see here. LT says, do you know that not voting is also cultural? It is part of the black culture to say that your vote doesn't count where you live. You getting an education, the way you dress is trying to be white. So in essence, a lot of things we do to participate in the American society is considered trying to be white by some black. That's not a part of black culture, LT. Voting is a part of black culture. Fighting for the right to vote and dying and going on freedom rides and freedom marches, that is. So you saying, if you in your description here, LT, if you say that, and maybe you're being tongue in cheek, I never can tell via text message. If you think that not voting is a part of American culture or black culture, then so is homicide. So is being a thug. So is being a gangster. So is being a felon. Don't associate the negative things that exists in every culture with what the culture is. If that's the case, if I just said, okay, the majority of school shooters are white boys, would I then say that all of white culture, all of Western European culture, all of white American culture is shooting and school shooting? No, that would be ridiculous. So I don't subscribe to that, but perhaps you do. Jean says, my daughter is 10 and knows the entire voting process, makes her own decisions, yes, influenced by what she is exposed to, so our, quote, views align about who to support. She votes with me before school for every election. She aspires to be president, and seeing a multiracial woman like herself as the major party candidate has given her more hope. She is so excited for Madam Vice President Jean. That is wonderful. I think at the very least, our support for Kamala Harris will be very encouraging to women, black women, women of color, East Indian women, Jamaican women, Haitian women. They'll be inspired by her. I know that Barack Obama didn't just inspire me. Do you know how many hundreds of African Americans decided to run for office when they saw Barack Obama run and win? It's inspirational. And there's one thing that black folks need more than free health care. It's inspiration. We don't have enough of it. You know what I thought was going to be an inspiration? Seeing LeBron James playing with his son last night because the Lakers was here playing the Bucks at the Fiserv. I'm just going to say something, y'all. And y'all know that I'm not a sports person. I'm not a sports broadcaster. You know, we have a sports network here under the Good Karma Brands umbrella, ESPN 94.5. I'm not a sports dude. I leave that to the sports professionals. Bronny sucks. He's bad. He's dreadful. But I was also telling Benjamin, so it's history though, right? Benjamin, how do I tell my audience what I told you and do it in a manner that doesn't violate every single FCC rule and regulation? It's not like this is the late night edition of Jamming with Juice. It's not, because then I could just be, you know what I mean? Then I could say it. All right, so LeBron James, even though Bronny he sucks. He's not good. He might be good, but he sucks. Okay, but his father, LeBron James, ejaculated another NBA player. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, as men, our ejaculate goes on like a sock. His made another NBA player. Like, that's a miracle. I hope that didn't cross the line. I never know if I cross the line until after the line has been crossed. So why don't we do this? I'm going to take a break. Let everybody take a deep breath here. I do want to get back to more Barack Obama's comments chiding black men for our sexism. And we are sexist. And then we're going to talk to Sam, who's on line one. Sam, you stay there. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to come back and talk to Sam on the other side. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, the election is less than a month away, and we are excited about another episode of The Truth on Politics on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This show engages in a thoughtful debate on the local and national elections and the policies which impact our black communities the most. Do not miss The Truth on Politics on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Dr. Ken Harris, Tori Lowe, Ben Jamin, Damian Elzie, and Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth and streaming live on YouTube.
Republican Senate candidate Eric Hovde showed up to the Milwaukee Juneteenth Festival. He said he was having a good time.
I'm here having fun. This is one heck of a party.
But then Eric Hovde was asked if there was anything he was going to take away about black culture. Hovde's answer?
Look, I've spent a lot of time in black culture. I've spent a lot of time in places like Africa because I have homeless shelters.
Run that back for me? Eric Hovde is asked about black culture, and the first thing that comes to mind is taking trips to Africa and homeless shelters? Hovde's comments were called, quote, ignorant, and they reek of stereotype and white paternalism. But when Eric Hovde was asked about the criticism, he said, do I have to respond to the stupidity of that question? Eric Hovde.
I've spent a lot of time in places like Africa.
What's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, running for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Tammy Baldwin for Senate.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dear Dad, I don't say this enough, but you're my hero. I know you're not feeling this election, but please do me a favor. Vote. Our Black history, my access to health care, and our voting rights are under attack. Extreme politicians want to take away our voice and our vote. Our future, my future, is on the ballot right now. You have the power to make sure my voice is heard. Please, Dad, use your power. Vote. Like my life depends on it. Paid for by NAACP.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
During an unannounced stop at a Harris campaign office in Pittsburgh, just a few hours before he was set to appear at his first campaign rally for the Democratic nominee, Barack Obama said he wanted to, quote, speak some truths and address black men specifically, making his most direct remarks about their hesitancy in supporting Harris to date. And this is what Barack Obama said, and I'm going to read it in his voice. You ready? Okay, here we go. My understanding, based on reports I'm getting from the campaign and communities, I said, we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as when I was running. It seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. That's what Barack Obama said. Obama questioned how voters, and black voters specifically, could be on the fence about whether to support Harris or former President Donald Trump, who is the Republican nominee. On the one hand, you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and the pain and the joy that comes from those experiences, Obama said, checking off a list of Harris's policy proposals. In Trump, he added, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting it out. The former president then spoke about what he thought might be contributing to black men's soft support of Harris, the discomfort of some with the idea of electing the first female president. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I got a problem with that, he said. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. Obama's comments created a remarkable moment. The nation's first black man to serve as president, urging others like him to rally behind potentially the first woman of color to ascend to the White House. Harris is black and Indian American. The women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time, he went on to say. When we get into trouble and the system isn't working for us, they're the ones out marching and protesting. And now you're thinking about sitting out or supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think it's a sign of strength because that's what being a man is. Putting down a woman? That's not acceptable, Barack Obama said. Let's talk to Sam. Thank you for holding, Sam. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I was calling in with, I guess, a comment, because you was talking about earlier about young people getting them into voting.
Yes.
I have an idea. Maybe the school system should have kids at an early age vote, like, say, for instance, recess. Like, some kids maybe want to go to recess, maybe some don't. Or maybe for lunch. Maybe we have pizza, or maybe we have something, and let them vote. And then show how important their votes are. What do you think about something like that?
Not only
like a day, go ahead.
I think it is a good idea, but don't they already do that? I remember when I was a little kid, we would vote on, do we play Foursquare? Do we play tetherball? Do we go play on the snow hill, or do we make snow angels? I think kids use democracy all the time. But I don't know, as when they become adults and they have real responsibilities, they may not see it as simple as that, as a vote. Because a vote, when you're like a child, has an immediate and direct result. If we all vote that we're going to recess, the majority of the kids vote, then you go to recess in 5 minutes. But when you vote for a president or in a presidential election or congressional election, you may not see a difference for 10 years. That might be the difference. We are used to, if we do something, if we have an action, right, if we vote, we want an immediate result. When you vote for president, it's not an immediate result, it's you are a part of something much larger than yourself, which a lot of people fail to realize.
Right. Okay. Maybe something like this. If they push, because I know we did go to, like you said, you do remember some of that voting, but I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. Like, say, for instance, the mayor comes out this end of school year, and he decide. Well, I know he don't decide the kids get off a week early, but let all the students. Because you know how they have that winter, whatever days, and sometimes the kids have off, whatever, however they use that. But at the end of the season, they decide to have either early week off end of the year, or either go extra week. And then let all the kids in the MPS do a vote. It don't have to be like that, but and then they put it on the news and let everybody hear what the results is. Something like that.
All right.
And then it kind of show the importance of voting.
Let's also keep in mind that
I don't know if what he can call.
A lot of schools are polling locations. So these kids, like Tuesday, November 5th is a school day. These kids are going to see hundreds of people come into their school, and kids are naturally curious. So I think it starts right there. Like the kids will see people voting. But the other thing, though, is kids get elected. We had a class president in every year since I was probably in 3rd or 4th grade. So, and we had to campaign, and we had to give speeches, and we had to make signs. And I think that they still do something like that. You have a class president. Then when we were in high school, the freshmen had a class president. The sophomores had a class. They were all elected by their classmates, the juniors and the seniors. And then they were a council that made decisions on behalf of the student body and sometimes challenged the teachers and the administrators because we represented our fellow students in our respective classes. So I think it still happens. It's just when people become adults, they don't get the instant result that they got when they were kids. But I appreciate your call, Sam. I still think it's a parent's responsibility because white people outvote us percentage-wise. Why is that? Because white parents are like, this is how we maintain who we are, what we have. If you are conservative, you want to conserve something. Maybe you want to conserve history. Maybe you want to conserve your money. Maybe you want to conserve your rural or suburban lifestyle. As black folks, that might be a bit of a stretch because what do we want to conserve? If anything, we want to be much more liberated. So therefore, we want more opportunity. We want more freedom. We don't want to conserve. We want more. We want to gain. We want access. That can be obtained through voting as well. But y'all are going to have to explain that to your children in the way that your children learn. And even the way I do radio, I can only do radio the way that I do it. And some people are receptive to it. Other people are not because they may not learn and receive information the way that I know how to give it. So parents and community members, you know your neighbors, you know your friends, you know your family, you know how they receive information. And because you know them, use that knowledge of them to their benefit and your benefit when you explain things to them. Because people will go to their families before they go to anybody else. Like, hey, tell me what's going on with this election. Because everybody has that person or should have that person in their family that you go to for stuff. You got questions or you need help with this or you need, some assistance in figuring something out. And they know how to explain things in the way that people know how to receive the information. Let's talk to DVJ. Hello, DVJ. You're on 101.7 The Truth.
Good morning, Sherwin. This is David. I just use DVJ on the thing because it's, my name's too long, so I just did a DVJ just to shorten it up.
David is a lot easier.
How you been doing, bro?
David is a lot easier to say than DVJ, but I'm doing well, David. What's on your mind?
I'm doing okay too, bro. I just wanted to add my 2 cents in real quick about the election stuff because I agree with a lot of what you're saying. And I just wanted to add my opinion on just a couple things real quick, how I personally feel about it. And I know it's a lot. I mean, there's more than a few reasons people are voting, why they're voting or whatever. But I believe the majority or a lot of the reason why, I feel like a lot of this race is about race. This presidential, in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of this race is about race. And an example of that would be, because like I was watching CNN one night and they were doing like a roundtable after one of the debates, and they were asking white ladies, they're having conversations with white and black ladies, and they were asking the white ladies like about the stuff Trump says or whatnot, right? And all the white ladies said, well, I don't like what Trump says, blah, 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 and, all this and that, but I'm going to hold my nose and vote for him. So, like, you're saying you're not cool with it, but you're still going to vote for him. So that, to me, like, my mind goes, okay, well, then that's your teammate. That's a race thing. Because, and what tells me that, too, is, like, so people that are voting for Trump, what black, white, Latino, whatever you are, you're willing to vote for dudes. So you're telling me that if you vote for Kamala, that you're going to lose everything you have? You're going to lose your home? You're going to lose your job? Life's just going to stop? Like, that can't make sense. So that's what tells me that adds up to race.
100%.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I can't vote right now, and it does frustrate me to see people that don't want to vote, say they're not, or whatnot, or whatever. I've been to prison. That show was well documented. I talked about it. And my PO just came for a home visit the other day and told me that, like, I'm her only client that hasn't messed up yet. And it's almost amazing. You know
David,
what I'm saying? I got 21 months left.
For as long as I've been on radio. How long you been on paper?
Yes. Yeah, bro. I've been on paper. I got released from prison on my son's birthday, actually, April 8, 2013. And I get off paper July 21st, I believe it is, of 2026. So I'm down to 21 months. Bro, I ain't messed up. I've been out here for the whole ride. Me and Michelle, my girlfriend, we started listening to you a few months after I got out, because we would be riding to work, and then like we would listen to Eric Vaughn, and then we would listen to you, because you would come on right after that, and Michelle and all that. Michelle Bryan, shout out Michelle Bryan. Yeah, bro. But so it's all, you know what I'm saying? And then I know I'm getting on, but I heard like in the thing people talking about getting live checks or like direct deposit. Like I still get a live check because I have to prove to my PO that I'm working. You know what I'm saying?
A live check is a paper
all that
check.
kind of stuff. Cause because I have to show her, you know, the amount, the hours, and all that stuff. Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's silly. But anyway, so I feel a lot of this is about race.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And I never thought I lived in.
The whole time it's been about race. It's been about nothing else. Donald Trump
and
can do and say whatever he wants, but whatever he says does not take away from the fact that his skin is white.
Straight up, yeah. And just the last thing I was going to say, too, is because and for people that are talking about the border is only an issue every 4 years because I've worked in restaurants, all that stuff. Most of the people that are working are Latin, and I don't know anyone in the suburbs that are getting their grass cut by Paco, their roof fixed, or whatever. I don't think people are asking them for their green cards before they get on their roof and fix their stuff or cut their grass. We worry about this every 4 years when the presidential stuff comes around to get like, why is somebody here worried in Wisconsin worried about someone from, you know, the Mexican-California border coming here? That don't even make sense.
Because they're not white.
That's what I'll be saying. Yeah, it's just, yeah, exactly. It's
don't
crazy.
overthink.
I mean, you got Mexicans telling other Mexicans to go back over the wall and all this stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. But have a good weekend, everyone, and thanks for being one of the real ones on the radio show.
Thank
you.
We
appreciate it, man. We really do.
You too.
Yep. Peace.
All right, then, David. I probably should have asked David how the hell he been on paper for 13 years. That's a long time. There's a growing number of Latinos that are pro-border wall and want a hard-nosed stance on immigration policy. But it makes sense for them. Let me tell you why it makes sense for them. There's some Latinos and Hispanics are supporting Donald Trump and why they want strong border policies. I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't want competition. They don't want more of their people from their country coming over here. Like, they're going to be in direct competition with one another. And so they don't want more Latinos and Hispanics to come over here. If they came over here, quote unquote, the right way or the legal way, which I don't even know what that is, then no, they don't want more people from Latin America to come to America, because then those new arrivals are going to be competing with them. But that's a them problem, because they come over here already divided. Y'all know that all of Latin America don't get along with each other. And I don't know who in South America even likes the Brazilians, because the Brazilians is the only one that speaks Portuguese. Portuguese isn't even spoken in a lot of countries outside of Portugal. You got Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, and you got some other like small little countries in the northeastern part of South America. They all speak Spanish. They were all colonized and conquered by the Spanish. And then you got Brazil, where they speak Portuguese. Portuguese is a very weird sounding language. You want to know what Portuguese sounds like? Put some water in your mouth, but don't swallow it, and then try to talk. That's what Portuguese sounds like. I'm not kidding you. Every time you listen to somebody speak Portuguese, imagine there's somebody like trying to speak English, but they got water in their mouth. Here, let me see if I can demonstrate it. Let me see. I don't know how much water I have in here. So this is somebody speaking Portuguese. All right, it's a truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hardworking family businesses, ambitious entrepreneurs, relationship builders, and job creators. Businesses like yours are the heart of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation lives to help you realize your vision. Join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development. It will be held on December 11th and 12th at the Baird Center in Milwaukee and virtually on the 10th. Presented by WEDC, Marketplace Wisconsin is a place for minority, women, LGBTQ+, veteran-owned and small businesses to network, explore government contracting, and grow. You keep our state moving with construction, janitorial services, logistics, transportation, technology, medical services, and more. And Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation wants to help propel your success too. Let's look forward together. Register for Marketplace Wisconsin today at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
I get it. The cost of rent, groceries, and utilities is too high. So here's what we're going to do about it. We will lower housing costs by building more homes and crack down on landlords who are charging too much. We will lower your food and grocery bills by going after price gougers who are keeping the cost of everyday goods too high.
Kamala Harris's economic plan is focused on lowering costs for families, so you can keep more of your paycheck. That starts with the cost of housing. For first-time home buyers, she's offering $25,000 in down payment assistance. To build wealth, her plan offers up to $50,000 in new startup tax deductions. This is exactly how we can build generational wealth and strengthen our community, so we can get the chance to do more than just get by, but to get ahead.
You work hard for your paycheck. You should get to keep more of it. As president, I'll make that my top priority.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Black Voters Matter bus tour is in Milwaukee this weekend. If you go to the Hughes Views Facebook group, which is the Facebook group that corresponds to this show, I posted a link. They've got events going on this afternoon, this evening. They're going to be at MATC for the College Voter Fair from noon until 2 p.m. In fact, you know what? I might head over there. Oh, I think I got to do with it. No, I got time. I think I might head over there. So the Black Voters Matter bus tour, they're traveling all over the country, going to black communities, trying to raise the temperature and raise awareness and register people to vote and knock on doors in a bunch of black communities. From noon until 2, they're going to be at the MATC College Voter Fair, 700 West State Street. Then from 3 until 6, they're going to be at Marshall versus Pulaski JV and varsity basketball games. Tomorrow, they're going to be knocking on doors with Wisconsin Voices in the Sherman Park neighborhood. That's from 10 a.m. until 11:30. From noon until 1:30 tomorrow, they're going to be knocking on doors with Workers Center for Racial Justice and King's Cut Salon Barbershop. That's on 50th and Hampton, so they'll be there from noon until 1:30. And then from 4:30 until 8 o'clock, they're going to be knocking on doors with MKE Black and Working Families Party and Carefree Black Girl. And they're going to gather at 5840 North 60th Street. Then on Sunday, they're doing a rally at St. Mark's AME on 16th and Atkinson. And then at noon, they're going to the Infinite Church at 6750 North 43rd Street. Is that Pastor Marlon Locke? You know, Ricky, you know Pastor Locke? He be taking his shirt off and be posing for pictures and stuff, be posting selfies. That's the one, right? Is that his church?
We went to the same high school and played on the football team together.
What's his church? It's not Infinite Church. It's something else.
I don't know the name of his church actually. That's his shirt.
A bunch of people are probably blowing up the chat and the text, but let me keep my comments to myself because I know how y'all love pastors. You know, every now and again, there's a guy named Sherwin that calls in, and he tells this incredible story about how his wife essentially, and I'm not trying to put his business out there, but he said it before on this show and at other radio stations I work for, that his wife like fell in love with the pastor, and like the pastor like changed congregations or changed parishes or whatever and moved to Arizona, and like his ex-wife moved down there with him. Pastors be on some stuff sometimes. There's I found a YouTube show. It's called, Ricky, have you heard of Marvelous Marvin, the YouTube show? You ain't heard of it? It's so good.
No, what is it about?
So
Talk to me.
It's little 3 or 4 minute YouTube videos, and I love me a short YouTube video. If I see a YouTube video that's like 37 minutes long, I got to readjust my whole life. But they're like 3 or 4 minutes long, and they're like little Tyler Perry movies about it's black man, and he's with black women in different scenes, just acting out like different parts of life. Where like there's one situation where a guy, he's broke, but his landlord is a cougar and she always wants to sleep with him when he doesn't have the rent. And then there's a situation where there's a husband and a wife where the wife don't listen to her husband, but she listens to the pastor. You know what I mean? They're really good. They're real life scenarios. They're very poorly acted. And they're usually filmed in an unfurnished apartment that looks like they could double as porn sets. But Marvelous Marvin is the guy's name. He's a really like good script writer for like these little 3 and 4 minute YouTube videos. Y'all should check him out. Let's talk to Eddie M. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you, Eddie M?
Hey, good morning, Sean. Hey, a couple questions right.
You got to answer the phone, don't you, brother?
Are you going to be part of this? No, that's all right. Are you going to be part of the summit with Tory and Dr. Ken and all of them?
The Truth Summit on Saturday the 26th, yes. The Truth Politics Roundtable, I am not. So the one that's coming up.
Is that on purpose or because of your views or what?
No, I think they're trying to rotate everybody in. So I've done 2 of them so far. Tory has only done 1. Kyle hasn't done any. Dame Elsie hasn't done any. So they're trying to rotate everybody.
Okay, I thought they were being haters, man, because your position goes against the grain, and you can pull the blanket off for a lot of talk or give reasons. Because and then not only that, somebody was referring to you as professor or whatever, and it didn't seem like that set too well. Which I believe that a person with your caliber of knowledge of politics, because you've been boots on the ground with it, can still override somebody that just have maybe a degree in whatever, a doctor or whatever. I mean, we all got to respect each other for our knowledge. I don't think, titles are just titles to me. I mean, you earned it, this, that, and other, I understand, but that doesn't mean that another person can have more knowledge than you because you went through a formal education and they went through the boots on the ground sort of education. So that's one subject. The other thing is the name of the church I believe you're talking about, Mr. Locke, is Unity. It's over on 12th and on 12th Street, across from Speed Queen there. And then the other thing I want to ask you about, just comment that Trump made regarding the police having an hour or a day to do what they want to do, something along that line. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What's your opinion and understanding of that? And I can't understand why, if it's regarding violence or going out and shooting someone, am I overplaying that, or is it something else to that?
He wants to encourage police brutality because Donald Trump figures if they have an hour to do whatever they want with no regard for human decency or respect, that word will travel throughout black communities and we'll stop committing crime because we'll be so terrified by what the police do. But what he is really doing is saying, cops, do whatever you want and I will grant you immunity and I'll pardon you. And that's aimed directly at us.
And that's why, and you know what? I can't understand why how can a person do this at the same time? Because to me, a closed mouth or support, you agreeing with everything a person is doing, be it Trump or be it anyone. You know, if I see you hit somebody in the head with a hammer and don't say nothing about it, then I agree with you. I'm supporting what you did. How do people tell you one thing about righteousness and this, that, and other, but at the same time hear someone speak, saying these things, and most of that to me, will happen in minority communities, you know, because it's already happening. So how can you support that?
Stop, Eddie. Hear me? I'm going to help you out with something, Eddie, because you oftentimes struggle with, like, what you hear Trump say, and then you struggle with, especially black people that support Trump. Eddie, it's because you're logical, and you're trying to apply logic to someone and something that is illogical, and it's always going to drive you crazy. You got to stop doing that. So it's based on this. If a black person is supporting Trump, hears Trump say, like, oh, I'm going to let the cops do whatever they want for an hour, and then that'll teach black people a lesson. So with us, if we hear something that we don't like, we just disagree with it. We'll say something like, oh, well, Trump doesn't mean that. That's how they justify it. If they hear something that goes counter and contrary to who they are, if they hear Trump saying, I'm going to let cops kill black people, then they'll dismiss it by saying, oh, Trump is just being Trump. We dismiss things that we don't like polls. Like, I just put out a poll the other day, showed people that Kamala Harris is losing in Michigan and Wisconsin. You know what people said? Oh, I don't believe that. So if it's something that makes us feel bad or makes us feel uncertain, we just dismiss it. And I think a lot of Trump supporters do that as well. But, Eddie, I appreciate your call. I got to go, sir. Thank you for your call. Yeah, they just dismiss it. Whenever Trump says something really horrible, oh, he's just being Trump. No, he means that stuff. And let me make a correction. It's Kenneth Locke, not Marlon Locke. Oh, I can't get my... Are they related? No, they're not, because their last names are spelled different. So not Marlon Locke. He's not the one that takes shirtless selfies. It's Kenneth Locke, and his church is Evolve Church. Man, I hope I don't get in trouble for that either. All right, I'm going to take a break. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join us live for the Truth Summit on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the 3rd Street Market Hall. This exclusive in-person roundtable will examine the state of finances, education, and politics for Black Milwaukee. Dr. Ken Harris will be joined by expert guests for a lively debate and insights that you can't afford to miss. We've got it covered on the pulse of Black Milwaukee. Get your tickets to the Truth Summit by visiting 1017thetruth.com. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice, it's a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom. It's a right to have a child. It's a right to not have children. And this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in Friday night as we have a battle for first place in the Greater Metro Conference. The Hilltoppers host conference rival, the Sussex-Hamilton Chargers. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on 1017 The Truth. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School.
So, you hear about this Project 2025?
Yeah, man. And if the part I read is like the other 900 pages, we're in real trouble.
What's it say?
They want to make it harder to vote, cut Social Security and Medicare, and even go after small businesses.
They're coming after my business.
Afraid so.
Plan is to take money from businesses like yours to give rich folks more tax breaks.
No.
So y'all gonna use your power and vote.
Of course.
And vote like our lives depend on it. Paid for by NAACP.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's talk to the caller. So somebody sent me a message yesterday. I guess Dr. Ken was saying some stuff about me yesterday. Were you involved in that conversation? Somebody said you were like defending me or saying something positive about me, and Dr. Ken went all Dr. Ken.
He did what Dr. Ken does with regard to formal education. And as you know, when Dr. Ken goes into moderator role, which I was complimenting him on how great of a job that I thought he did as a moderator.
It was terrible.
Well, in my opinion, he kind of kept some situations that could have gotten more volatile from getting to that point, based on the frustration that people who, now check this out, there are a lot of borders in this country. Some of them are state and local borders. And there's only one person who is on 101.7 The Truth, telling the truth, and that's the guy who was born and raised in Milwaukee, who has a diverse experience here in our city, who didn't grow up poor and has a lot of knowledge about politics. That being yourself. So me referring to you as a professor,
he didn't like that,
was not something that Dr. Ken is in line with. Even though I stated it as a nickname, similar to the way we would call, nobody calls Dr. J. Julius Irving who knows anything about basketball, which I wasn't able to get out. So thank you for mentioning the conversation that you heard about it. Because I was trying to say that to him, but as you know, when Dr. Ken goes in moderator role, you're not going to get some of the points out that, may be valid. And the other thing that I want to say is, with regard to formal education, which I've said to you because that's the area where you guys agree. There are a whole lot of people who've been formally educated, and Frederick Douglass never went to a college, but he founded several of them. And so the fact that you don't have a PhD, while you are far more knowledgeable about politics, speaks volumes about your ability to learn, so people can take that as they want. But I do feel that I get more truth in the 3 hours, and I think there's a reason why the most experienced broadcaster and the most talented broadcaster on a station that's called The Truth, who tells the truth, is on for 3 hours, and I don't think anybody else is, right?
No. Tory.
Is he on for 3 hours? Wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, he's on for 3 hours. But I appreciate, that's very nice.
Well,
I appreciate your
for
compliment.
3 hours, let me say this. For 3 hours, telling the truth and being detailed about the things that they say. There are some things that I support that my brother does and says, but there are certain things that I think every broadcaster has a responsibility to do, and that is to make sure that you present facts and timelines. And there's one show that does that in detail, and it's on right now. And so, most of my TSL, which is, I believe, the most important thing in radio, time spent listening. And I don't know what the ratings and all that is at your station, but I know where the truth lies, and that's what I see. I research some of the things that everybody on there says, and I find more truth that happens starting at 9 o'clock, going till noon. And anybody who wants to dispute that, I challenge them to attempt to debate you about politics before this election. 1-on-1, 2-on-1, or one against, or let's say their listeners against Al, myself, Linda, and the other intelligent people who listen to your show. Because there are, in my opinion, there are a lot of shows that have a bunch of uninformed people or people who pretend to be uninformed who are intelligent on that call into their shows to spew talking points and choose to ignore when we are attacked. You know, there are some events that occur that just don't get talked about on certain days, like when Donald Trump says something ridiculous like them eating cats and dogs. I'll listen to other shows on The Truth, and they'll start talking about what the Bucks are doing, what the Packers are doing. Whereas you will approach it, or they'll talk about what Diddy is doing. You'll approach it,
show, and I appreciate the accolade. Nicole, I appreciate everything you're saying, but I literally got to take a break in 20 seconds. But I don't want to pit my show against anybody else's. There's a program that I do that people like. There are programs that are also on 101.7 The Truth that other people like, and I think we just have to leave it there. And unfortunately, I got to take a break because it's the end of the hour. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, 1017 Day, aka Truth Day, is next Thursday. And to celebrate, we will be hosting a Truth Spirit Week. During Truth Spirit Week, we will be giving away 10 $25 gift cards to Pfister Cafe during all of your favorite 101.7 The Truth shows. So make sure you are tuned in all day from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. so you don't miss your chance to win a $25 gift card to the Pfister Cafe in downtown Milwaukee. Thank you, Truth Nation, for being the best fan base in the country. We truly do it for you. Milwaukee, Black Talk, 101.7 The Truth.
Friday Night Lights officially lives here. 101.7 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette University High School championship football. Be sure to tune in every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Boyle Frederickson Intellectual Property Law, and Marquette University High School.
Truth Nation, Spirit Week is here, and we're celebrating the truth for 1017 all week long. Starting Monday, it's Throwback Monday. Rock your old school fits and live in nostalgia. Tuesday, Twin Day. Find your twin and show off your outfit. I want to be like Steve. Wednesday, Jersey Day. Rep your team loud and proud. And Thursday is 1017 Truth Day. Rock your truth fit and join us for a live radio show outside the studio. That's right, Truth Nation. Come see us in person and then celebrate with us for a special happy hour at 4 p.m.
Love the sound of that.
Plus, join Jammin' with Juice after dark from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
I'm flaming, bitch.
That Thursday night on 1017 Day for an epic show. Join Spirit Week for 1017 Day on 101.7 The Truth, where every day is a Truth Day.
When it comes to accurate, reliable election information for Wisconsin voters, visit the official site. It's myvote.wi.gov. It's the big cheese, you could say. It's your one-stop source for official Wisconsin election information. Find your polling place, see your sample ballot, make sure your registration is up to date, and more at myvote.wi.gov. Sponsored by Wisconsin Elections Commission, aired by Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Welcome to hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. There are a number of states that have created laws in the last 4 years to make voting more difficult. And I want to be abundantly clear about this fact because I feel like I need to draw as many contrasts and distinctions between the two political parties as possible, because one of the more misinformed or uninformed things that I hear is people like, oh, I don't know what Kamala Harris has done. That's because you don't want to know. So I hear that a lot, and that's just ridiculous because you're admitting that you haven't taken the time to actually be inquisitive about her, who she is, her background, et cetera, et cetera. You haven't watched any of the debates, whatever. So that's a ridiculous thing to even want to admit. You don't want to admit your ignorance. But when it comes to making voting more difficult, it's one political party. So I got to push back when people say, oh, these political parties are the same. No, the hell they are not. They need money. That's where they have some similarities so that they can support their candidates, so they can push their message out. So that is where they're similar, okay? But guess what, black people? Let's say you're a black revolutionary. Let's say you're a black nationalist. You love black people a lot. You do things for black people. You support black-owned businesses. You have black children. You have a black spouse. You live in a black neighborhood. You're just blackity black. But you need money, right? So does a white supremacist. Democrats need money and Republicans need money. That is their only similarity. White supremacists need money because they got bills they got to pay too. So is it fair for me to say, oh, black people and white supremacists are exactly the same? Hell no, it's totally inaccurate. That's the only similarity, is they need to raise funds so that they can spread their message to more people. So I want to revert to something in the YouTube chat. Then I got some articles on the Republicans' consistent and incessant effort to drum up voter fraud. And I got all of the facts and statistics on voter fraud. And let me just say this before I get into the voter fraud thing. The incidences of voter fraud are so small, okay, infinitesimally small, okay, that if you add up all of the incidents of voter fraud going back 25 years, okay, to 1999 entering into the 2020 presidential contest, there has not been enough voter fraud to overturn a single election in the last, I can go back 50 years. In fact, there hasn't been enough voter fraud to overturn any presidential election in the history of presidential elections. But for some reason, all of a sudden, we have voter fraud. You know what it is? There are cohorts of people in this country who are becoming informed. And when you become informed, you want to participate in civic life because you see where society needs to be changed when you become informed. When you become informed, you see how other countries do it better. You see how their democracies work better. You see how their participation in civic life is different. You see how other countries may ensure people's health free of charge. You may see how other countries give college educations away for free because they care so much about their people in these other countries that they want their young people and their young adults to have to be a strong workforce, but also be competitive against other nations. And once you start learning about how these other people and these other countries are able to accomplish wonderful things, it makes you much more interested and involved in doing some of those same things in America. And as that happens more and more and more, and people are getting much more wise and much more intelligent, and they're critically thinking more, we're going to vote more. And so they're afraid of that. They're afraid of an oppressed minority of people that are using their power at the ballot box, so they want to make it more difficult to vote. Wouldn't you think that you would want everybody to vote and make it as easy as possible? If you have the best message, the best platform, the best policies, the best suggestions on how we can improve people's lives, everyday lives, investing in education, investing in infrastructure, taking care of people when they are sick, making sure you have retirement resources when you get of a certain age, wouldn't you want everyone to be able to vote? And don't you want the parties to be able to compete for the best ideas? The Republicans don't want to do that, and I can't be more clear. They don't make policy. They see the Democrats as their number one threat because the Democrats represent people of color, minorities, LGBTQ folks. All the people the Republicans hate are represented in the Democratic Party. Now, it's very difficult for the Democratic Party to have a message or a series of messages that can cater to so many groups of people. That's why it seems so complicated and so convoluted, because the Democrats got a message for the union members. They got a message for the African Americans. They got a message for people that are undocumented but are here because they want to work and they want a better life. They got a message for women. Democrats have the message when it comes to health care. They got a message for so many different things. And all the Republicans have to do is say, yeah, we don't like anything that they do. We are in trouble in a nation, as a nation rather, when you have a political party that says we want to take away your health care. Please tell me how that makes any kind of sense. Have y'all ever been to the doctor? Have you ever been to the doctor with no insurance? It's insane. It bankrupts people. You will go broke taking care of your health. And there's literally a political party that's saying, you don't need health care. Go broke trying to stay healthy. Do you understand if they took away the Affordable Care Act, how many more black women would be dead of breast cancer? How many more black men would be dead of prostate cancer? How many more black men, black women, and even black young people now would be dead of colon cancer? Do you have any idea? And so here's their logic in that. There are more white people that are gainfully employed. There are more white people that have jobs that provide them health insurance. There are less African Americans and otherwise people of color and middle-class people and poor people that have access to health care. So if they take away the Affordable Care Act, more of you will die, less of them will die. And so then they think they're going to get the advantage. So they have to take it a step further, the Republicans do. Let's make it illegal for a woman to have an abortion, because let's be clear about this too. They don't care if black women and Latina women and Asian women have abortions. If black, Latina, and Asian women were the only women having abortions would be free. So if we can take away health care where more people of color will die because they won't be able to afford to go to the doctor, and we can make it illegal for women to have abortions, they will get the only thing they've ever needed, more white people to make more decisions on behalf of white people. Like, they disregard the entire woman. It's just about her birth canal. It's just about your ability to bear children, even if a woman gets raped. And this is something that men just don't get. Men have a fit if another man grabs our butt. We'll want to kill him. Yeah, Ricky just put out his fake gun, which may not be fake. Like, I can't imagine the terror. I mean, imagine if raped other men just like at a party.
Just imagine if you're just walking down the street or to the store, enjoying the nice weather. Then you got somebody like Drake come behind you and just grab your tush. That's very disturbing, and it's going to get very violent.
Yeah, but imagine if they didn't just grab the tush. They're like, give me some of that. Come, give it here now, mister.
Come to the Diddy party.
I ain't going to no Diddy parties. But I could go to a Diddy party and not get diddied. I know how to keep to myself at parties. Yo, I've been to parties where freaky stuff has gone on. I just don't participate in it.
Oh, you've been to a freak off.
I was invited to a swingers party in 2000.
I mean, I got invited to watch some stuff, but I never went.
2005.
I like to watch sometimes.
It's not sexy to me.
Well, it depends.
It's not even. Yeah, I didn't like it. It was weird. It was too much for me. I'm not used to
it's like live. Never mind.
No, it's
live art to me.
Shut up, Rick. It's not art. You're just a freak. It just wasn't. It was too, like, I can't even describe it. Like, the atmosphere has to be like natural and sexy and organic, and there it was just expected. And it was weird to me, and it's a lifestyle. And those people that are in the lifestyle are weird. You know how weird you have to be when you can let your wife or your husband just go have fun, honey. Let me know how it was. If I send my wife to go sleep with another man, I'm sending her away forever. Like, okay, we're divorced now.
But that works for certain couples, though.
Don't work.
Believe it or not, it really do work.
Oh, I know it does. It doesn't work for me, and I can't find a way to justify it working for me.
Like, people actually that's been married for 20, 30 years, they kind of get tired of each other. And then next thing you know, hey, they become swingers, i.e. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
If I am tired of my wife, and if I think that I'm going to be more interested in my wife by sleeping with another woman, if I'm tired of my wife, I'm tired of her for everything, not just the sex. If I don't want to be with her physically, that means that I'm tired of her and a whole bunch of other aspects, and maybe she and I aren't compatible. So if I'm tired of my wife, and my wife's like, oh, Sherwin, you should try swinging, and I find chemistry with another woman, I'm not going back to my wife. Because for what? I got a taste of something different. I got to take a phone call from Sherman. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, how you doing there, Sherwin?
I'm good.
I was talking about when you made a comment about the health care.
Yes.
And a while back, I think it was in January, I had sent you a picture of my hospital bill. This is with insurance. I was about to start back working out, so I had bought me some steroids. I didn't take the steroids. So I started having the hiccups, and they wouldn't go away for 2 days.
Sherman, you're not supposed to do the steroids. That's bad for you now.
I didn't do them. I didn't do them. I just had them. So I told everybody, I'm going to stay away for like 5 weeks so I want to get my body back in good shape. So anyway, I didn't do the steroids, but everybody thought I did them. But I couldn't get rid of these hiccups. No matter what I did, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink nothing. The hiccups would not go away. So I ended up going to the emergency. They hooked me up to all kinds of stuff because they said that was a part of some of the symptoms of having a heart attack. I say all that to say this. I stayed a night, we just say 24 hours. Bill was $22,000. That's with insurance.
$22,000?
$22,000 and some. $22,000. For all these people that say, I'm going to vote for Republican because the Democrats hasn't done anything for me, just imagine if I didn't have insurance, how much would the bill have been? It's crazy that you have some black people that complain about complain about health insurance, but not about not a car insurance. See, everybody has a body, but everybody don't got a car. And it's crazy that they'll insure their car, but then complain about the health insurance. I'm at the age of, I'm 51 years old. I'm at the age of, I need to understand that I'm getting older. I'm not getting no younger. I didn't start getting pains in my body until I reached about 45. It's over with for me. And for these young people, these people that talk about, I'm going to vote for these, for the Republicans, you're going to get nothing. You're going to be walking around here with walkers, bodies all broke up. You got some dudes around here 60 years old, never got a colonoscopy, never got their prostate checked, never got their eyes checked. You got one eye damn near hanging out your head. You got glaucoma, and all this stuff can be cured if you go to the doctor. But they want to vote for some people that's going to take things away from them, talking about they trying to punish somebody else. You really hurting yourself, and I just don't understand this mentality that we as black people vote. Kamala Harris didn't do anything for it. She locked up black folks. Sherwin, I'll be the first to tell you, and I've said this many times before. I went to prison I did 11 years, close to 11 years altogether. I deserve to go. Yep, I needed prison. The first time I went to prison, I had no business doing what I did. I deserved to go. So I can't get mad at the judge, the jury, the DA for sending me to jail for some things I did. How you going to get mad at a person for doing her job? It's no different if you hire a lawyer. You can't get mad at the other side can't get mad at you for hiring a lawyer to do his job. That's what his job is. You get these people, Kamala Harris locked up black folks. Then you ask, well, what did they do? Well, it don't matter. So you're saying if it don't matter if he or she raped your daughter or your son or your mother, it shouldn't matter. She should lock him up. I went to prison. I deserve to go to prison. And in reality, prison saved my life. I'm never going back to jail. I'm going to let you know right now, I'll snitch on anybody. You get in the car with me, you got something on you, the police pull us over, I'm going to let you know right now, policeman, you only need to pull out one set of cuffs. We already had a discussion who's going. And I'm going to bring it. Daddy, mama, it's time to get out. They want you outside the car. That's all I want to say, man.
Thank you. That you said a mouthful. We appreciate your call, Sherman. All right, then. He's 22. I do remember when he sent me that bill. Donald Trump has the best health care you could ever imagine, but he don't want you to have it. And then some people agree. There's similar themes in America. You had white men that fought for the Confederacy that did not own property in land, did not own property in slaves, they didn't own property in human beings. but they fought for wealthy plantation owners to maintain their wealth and their property in both land and human beings. Ain't that crazy? Donald Trump is always going to have the best health care money can buy. But then people will essentially support him in maintaining his high standard, high status health care. At the same time, they'll be voting against their own health care interests. That is insane to me. You know, earlier I was saying people don't like information that they don't agree with, and they just avoid it. If somebody sees a poll, let's say you're a Donald Trump supporter, and you see a poll that says Donald Trump is losing, you just don't believe the poll. You just, I don't like that poll. I'm not going to believe it. We don't like information that does not fit with our worldview, so we dismiss the information as false. And I hate when people do that, because that's the kind of ignorance that actually kills you. You know why some people don't go to the doctor? You know why some men, tough, masculine, tough men, they're tough, type A, leader of the pack, alpha males don't go to the doctor? Because they're scared of what the truth might be about their health. If you're afraid to go to the doctor, you are not a masculine man. The most masculine you can be is when you're vulnerable, getting that physical, and they make you put on that hospital gown with your ass out. Ass. I don't know how they haven't made a better design for hospital gowns. And so what, I've worn a hospital gown on many occasions. Many. I don't even care. I let them see that ass. I'm like, you want to see this ass? You don't want to see this chocolate moon? Make a better gown. Oh, I've walked the hospital floor. Y'all know me. Walk the hospital floor with just, Mr. Hughes, please come. And a nurse will always come and try to tie. I was like, what you doing, nurse? Mr. Hughes, you're a bit exposed. You've seen one black ass. You've seen them all.
So you like being asked out?
I don't care. It's not like it's sexual for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm there for my health. And if they happen to see a little bit of these chocolate cheeks as I'm walking to give me a drink of water or something, I don't know what I'm walking around doing. Sometimes I'm damn delirious walking around the hospital. I don't know. See a little ass. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. They've all seen ass.
It ain't nothing but some buns.
Exactly. My chocolatey buns. Now that's Mr. Hughes again. He's out walking around on this. It's not like it's the front is exposed. That's different. Then it would be, Mr. Hughes. Come to the nurse's station at about 11:30 when the shift changes. But no, there's no masculine men that are afraid to go to the doctor. That's if you're afraid. And it can be scary, but like that is what manhood is, facing something that you are afraid of. Because there's the other thing that a lot of us don't ever experience. Going to the doctor and be like, oh, you're good. You're good to go. Keep doing what you're doing. I'll see you in a year. But we don't go because we're afraid. So you ain't tough. That's not what toughness is. Toughness is being able to face your fears with a stiff upper lip and then being a guiding light and encouraging others to do the same. Brother called me last week. Y'all heard him? He either called in or he texted in and said, Sherwin, when you talked about getting your first colonoscopy, and that was a long time ago because I've had my second one already. He's like, I didn't even know what it was. He's like, and I went because you did a radio broadcast dedicated to your experience getting your colonoscopy. He was like, I went and I had cancerous polyps that had I not gone to the doctor, I would have died of colon cancer. He said, Sherwin, I am here because of you. That's what it's about. And a lot of men, they feel weird about what the procedure is. When it comes to your health, stop feeling weird. Because you know what feels weird? Leaving your family to bury you because you died young because you were too afraid to go and get checked out. Do you know how many friends, black men, that I have lost because they had something curable or preventable, cancer especially, and just died because they didn't want to go to the doctor? Unbelievable. The guy that got me in the radio, Darren Dewalt, died of cancer. Seriously, y'all. You want to pretend that you're tough? Ain't no thug on the street tough. That's fake tough. That's why I'll go anywhere in this city any time of day. You may think I'm lying. I live in the hood. I bought in the hood. Many people advised against it. Like, oh, Sherwin, you're not cut out for that. You're from Brown Deer. Like, I'm not afraid of my people. There are certain places I recommend some of you don't go, but I'm not afraid to go anywhere. And it's young black men that we're supposed to be afraid of. And I know that toughness that they have is to shield how sad they are and how much they miss their fathers And you don't ever want anyone to know that because that would make you vulnerable as a young boy, as a teenager, as a man. But I can't be afraid of someone who just misses their dad. I don't care how they act. I don't care what they say. Now, if they try to steal my Chevy Volt, that's a different story because you're going to have to shoot me because I'm going to kick your little ass. You try to steal. I just ain't going to just, no, Sherwin, if they're going to steal your car, you should let them. Nah. They got to think about a murder case and then like a lot of prison rape because, damn, it wasn't worth it to kill Sherwin. Now look at this. Now I'm in jail, afraid of gravity, afraid of dropping the soap. Oh, gravity's my worst enemy for the next 40 years of my life. Okay, we got some guests coming. I got to clean this show up because we've got Al Keith, who's the CEO of Milwaukee College Prep, and Celestin Morgan, who is the executive director of City Forward Collective. We're going to talk about some educational things from the perspective of two men who are very astute educators. We're not going to talk about prison unless they want to. But there is a school to prison pipeline, so who knows? Maybe we bring it up. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jammin' with Juice each and every day on 101.7 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Next Thursday, October 17th, a.k.a. 1017, is Truth Day, and we will be celebrating Truth Spirit Week. During Truth Spirit Week, we'll be giving away 10 $25 gift cards to the Pfister Cafe on all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, with 2 of those being right here on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So make sure you're tuned in all next week. You do not want to miss your chance to win a $25 gift card from the Pfister Hotel Cafe in downtown Milwaukee. And thank you, Truth Nation, for being the best fan base in the world. You guys are fantastic. Tune into another episode of The Truth on Politics, Tuesday, October 15th from 6 until 8. Dr. Ken, Tori Lowe, Benjamin, Damian Elsie, and Kyle Wallace will be talking about all the issues that you need to know ahead of the upcoming election. And tonight, there is a high school football matchup you don't want to miss. It's going to be a fight for the Greater Metro Conference title. Marquette High takes on their conference foe, the Sussex Hamilton Chargers. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Friday night football on The Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. I want to call that is all. And I think that's enough of those. We'll read more of those later. I got Al Keith and Colestin Morgan going to be joining us. Colestin is with City Forward Collective, and Al Keith is with, I should know this, Milwaukee College Prep. Yes, and they're going to talk to us about a bunch of things. There's a bunch of gaps, opportunity gaps. Going to talk about how charter schools in Milwaukee are addressing the opportunity gap. How charter schools are supporting students who are behind grade level or face significant academic challenges. We're going to get it all figured out. They'll be joining me in a few minutes. See if I missed any notable text messages here. The caller said LeBron James Jr. is better than Giannis's brother. He's certainly no Latrell Sprewell or Devin Harris. He is at the level that Tony Smith was at his age. Yes, being LeBron James Jr. is why he's on the Lakers. That was interesting to see him last night. The players, I don't know who the Bucks put in the third and the fourth quarter. I don't know who. They're new people. They got one rookie that's real good, though, number 77. He's 19 years old. He's real good. I don't know his name, though. AJ something. He's good. But it's just preseason, and sometimes I get fooled into thinking that the preseason is what the real season is going to look like. I think we got a strong squad this year, the Milwaukee Bucks do, if they can stay healthy. So there's that. The caller says, your relationship takes have improved, but Truth Nation is still trying to help you improve in that area. I need none. It's crazy because people that are married and divorced a lot of times think they have the best relationship advice. You know what the best relationship advice is? Married people, y'all be quiet because you ain't going to ever agree to this. The best relationship advice is to not be married or to wait. To wait. That's the best relationship advice. But here's the thing. We all require different things. Like some men need women to take care of them. They are incapable of taking care of themselves. They need women to cook for them, to clean for them, to tell them what to do, to motivate them. I don't need any of that. I cook, I keep a house, I own a home. Like I don't even need a woman's income so I can have a lifestyle. You know what I found? A lot of women are intimidated by that because they don't have anything over me. And they oftentimes question themselves like, Sherwin, you don't even need me. Like, why am I here? I can't do anything for you. I don't want you to do stuff for me because you should be able to do that stuff for yourself and I should be able to do it for myself as well. We're not each other's like caretakers until we're invalid, until we can't take care of each other. And some women are like, oh, Sherman, well, you don't need me. And they feel insecure. So no, I don't need you. I just want a woman who I've got chemistry with that's intelligent. If I don't have those, there's no advice that can make me have chemistry with somebody. A guy called in last week. He was trying to troll me, but he tried to do it in a polite way. He was like, Sherwin, he said, you need to lower your standards. You're too picky. I bet you let a lot of good and beautiful women, he stressed beautiful. He's like, oh, you let a lot of beautiful women, just slip through your fingers because you're too picky. If she's beautiful and we have nothing in common, then she ain't beautiful. She's beautiful to somebody else. Or if she's beautiful and is not intelligent, if she's not a critical thinker, to me, she ain't beautiful. And beauty is ridiculous. Because you know what it does a lot of times? Here's what I'm coming to find out. Because I like women my age. Because Generation X women are best women on the planet. They're just the best. Like the way we grew up and the way we understand the world, I got more in common with women of my generation than any other kind of woman. Period. Point blank. I prefer our age cohort of women because we're fantastic. And women that are our age that grow old gracefully and naturally and embrace it are even more beautiful because you know what they have? Confidence. The most beautiful women, this is my experience, and I know I attract an unusual cohort of women. I will admit that. They use distracting beauty to cover up the fact that they are troubled. Because then people will say to them, how come you're single? You're so beautiful. That should tell you everything that you need to know, because you know how many beautiful women, men too, it's some very attractive men that are horrible human beings. And so really what you should say is like, wow, you're this attractive as a man. Oh, you're this attractive as a woman and you're single. You must be screwed up. That's a more likely explanation. But y'all got to stop looking at beauty. And also when women compliment one another, why y'all always start with, oh, girl, you look so good. You're so pretty. That is further encouraging her outward appearance and disregarding her inner beauty or lack thereof. So I don't care how somebody looks. Y'all might see your boy out in public with a booger wolf. Oh, terrible. But guess what? She treats your boy good. She's intelligent. We can talk. We can laugh. We can kick it. She's got to be able to hold her liquor. Can't date a woman that can't hold her liquor. You can't. It doesn't work. I sometimes go to formal events, go to formal functions. There's sometimes alcohol involved because alcohol tends to be social. I made this mistake once. Brought a woman out. I know that when she has a few drinks, she just kind of loses all sense of reality. And I told her before we walked in, and she looked great. She looked fantastic wearing a black dress. I said, look here now. You need to chill on the drinking because we got some important people this here. Okay? She said, okay, I will. 2 martinis in. I want to join the circus. I'll learn how to do a trapeze. Who are you? Oh, you work with Sherwin? Oh, I like Sherwin. Oh. And then she just went to sleep. Okay, I'm going to take a break now. And we're going to talk to Celestin Morgan. Celestin Morgan and Al Keith. Al is from Milwaukee College Prep, and Celestin is the executive director of City Forward Collective. We're going to talk about education. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
I get it. The cost of rent, groceries, and utilities is too high. So here's what we're going to do about it. We will lower housing costs by building more homes and crack down on landlords who are charging too much. We will lower your food and grocery bills by going after price gougers who are keeping the cost of everyday goods too high.
Kamala Harris's economic plan is focused on lowering costs for families, so you can keep more of your paycheck. That starts with the cost of housing. For first-time home buyers, she's offering $25,000 in down payment assistance. To build wealth, her plan offers up to $50,000 in new startup tax deductions. This is exactly how we can build generational wealth and strengthen our community, so we can get the chance to do more than just get by, but to get ahead.
You work hard for your paycheck. You should get to keep more of it. As president, I'll make that my top priority.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
We're here.
You brought me to a cornfield to see a scarecrow?
Well, the mortgage lender said the money for our home is in scarecrow.
I think they said escrow.
Oh.
There's a lot to learn when buying your first home. That's why UW Credit Union offers home loans with local expertise and a lowest closing cost commitment to make the journey easy. UW Credit Union. Apply today. Equal housing lender.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. In studio, Al Keith. Al is the CEO of Milwaukee College Prep. Welcome to the program, Al. How are you?
Doing wonderful.
I'm doing good. And then Colestin Morgan, who I've known for some time now. Colestin is the executive director of City Forward Collective. Glad you guys could make it today.
Thanks for having us, Sherwin. Yeah, thank you.
I talk about education several times a week, some cases several times a day, because we dive into issues that impact our community most. And more often than not, it comes down to education, lack thereof, far too many children. And I see our children as the future workforce of Milwaukee. And if we are not preparing them, then we're going to have to get our workforce from somewhere else. And I would rather it come from here. There's a thing called an opportunity gap. I'm going to start with you, Colestin. Can you explain to folks what an opportunity gap is and how it impacts students in Milwaukee?
Yeah, so the opportunity gap is the distance between students who are wealthier, often whiter, how they're achieving and performing academically, and what that looks like for communities of color, and most especially for Black kids. And we here in Milwaukee have long struggled with one of the largest opportunity gaps of any city in the country.
Going a bit off script here, why is it so political? Why is educating young people and getting them prepared for either higher education or vocations or a life of work, why have we politicized that? And I know you guys may not have the answer, but I'm still trying to figure out why it is more political than it is anything else.
I mean, I find myself asking the same question. Our kids' future, our country's future and well-being should never be a question, right? And so, when you guys find that answer, let me know. But it's in my mind. It's something that is just, at a point it gets silly. We should be dedicating every resource possible to our kids, which are the future of our country, our city, and the world.
Well, you're over at, I'm going to get you 1 second. I got to ask the big bad charter school man. Because
it's okay. I'm glad he's a bad guy for once.
Well, it's your fault. See, these charter schools and these other types of schools that are not traditional public schools, see, you're the problem. You're taking money away from the traditional public schools, and that's why the traditional public schools are struggling, because charter schools, even successful ones, happen to be a problem for the district. Can we just add a little more logic to that, Al, and why charter schools are not the problem? In some cases, they are the necessary alternative to underperforming public schools.
No, let me just go on record in saying that charter schools are public schools. Milwaukee College Prep is a public school. Free admission, no screening process, blind admissions. We take all scholars in, and so we are a public school. I think the special sauce here is, number one, just the core values of who MCP and many of the charter schools, successful charter schools across the city are, and what they hold dear to. But the other thing is that, we're allowed to innovate, right? And so we don't just settle for the status quo. We do what we need to do to meet our kids where they are and get them to be successful. And so, we're innovative. We love to embrace the challenge, and we do what we need to do for kids.
You can hire the best talent without them necessarily having to be members of the union. Does that somewhat sound like an accurate statement? So, and listen, I'm not over here union bashing. Well, not right now and not today. But there are some situations where teachers may underperform, and in any other endeavor in the world, an underperforming employee, we got to let you go. You're not making the mark. You're not a good employee. Sometimes that gets a little murky when they have representation that is not necessarily looking at their performance, but looking at their affiliation. However, I digress. Otherwise, I will get to union bashing. Colestin, let me ask you, how are charter schools, which are public schools, and I know that, how are they addressing the opportunity gap? And can you give a couple examples?
Yeah, so look, different kids have different needs. I see Al's got his MCP jacket on today. I'm wearing a different type of jacket, right? Different people need different things. And so charter schools are able to address the opportunity gap by making sure that they are delivering what the students in their school building needs, right? Al and the educators I work with him every day know those students in MCP. They greet them in the morning. They have a feel for what's going on in their family life. They're embedded in that community and know deeply the challenges, the opportunities, the hopes, all those things, and they can customize the education for what those students needs. That might be different than what my children need. That might be different than what a child on the South Side needs, and that's okay, right? Addressing this opportunity gap by giving families the opportunity to find the school that best fits their child's needs, the jacket that best fits that kid, That's what these schools of choice do.
I think I made the distinction because there are some public education purists, and they know that charter schools are public schools too, but they make a distinction, right? Like they don't see like, oh no, charters are just in addition to what we can offer a variety of different types of children, et cetera, et cetera. So there are other people that make the distinction. So when they hear charter school, automatically they may think, oh, this is something that is taking away from public schools. But they are public schools, but there's also a caveat. They get less per pupil funding. So they are traditional public schools. Is there any explanation for that? If they are traditional public schools, why are they getting less funding, and how is that funding made up?
Not an explanation, but a statement. They shouldn't, and you're right. In some cases, that's $3,000-$4,000 less per student that they're getting to serve students with the same needs, the same backgrounds. Like we've looked at this. We're now about half of the kids in Milwaukee attend schools outside of MPS. About half of them attend schools inside MPS. When you look at them demographically, when you look at them in terms of the circumstances and the challenges, they're not that different, the one from the other. And in many cases, they're in the same family, in the same household. One kid might be at a traditional school. The next kid over might be at a charter school. Why that student deserves thousands of dollars less is a question we've been asking for years. The answer is they don't, right? The answer is the needs are the same. We should be funding kids based on what they need, wherever they choose to go to school, so that each kid gets the education they deserve.
Absolutely. We often hear about the number of young people in our public schools that are not on grade level, they're below grade level, they're less than proficient for the level that they should be at. How do charter schools support students that are behind grade level, and is there any evidence that they can actually get to grade level and maybe even achieve higher?
No, absolutely. And so just some background on MCP, we've always looked at how do we support the individual child. And so that means on grade level, above grade level, below grade level. And so we do purposeful and mission-aligned hiring to meet the needs of our kids. We put in place the appropriate programming. We have the freedom and autonomy to choose the correct curriculum and programming that is needed for our kids. And so, Celestin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the proof is in the pudding. I think MCP's results year over year, actually entering our 28th year of operation, have spoken to it is possible, and it's what our kids deserve.
No correction there. I'll just add, we know this is true in Milwaukee. We know we've got schools like Milwaukee College Prep that are moving the bar for kids here in the city, but we also know it's true nationally. I think just yesterday or just earlier this week, the Progressive Policy Institute came out with a report showing that in cities where you've got more public schools of choice, public charter school options, you see increases in academic achievement, closing of that opportunity gap, not just for students who are attending those public charter schools, but it actually improves outcomes at the district too. And that's across, I think they looked at a half dozen different cities around the country. So we know this works. We know this works because we see examples like that here in Milwaukee from Milwaukee College Prep. We know it works because we see examples in other cities around the country.
Al, what steps are charter schools taking to make sure that students from low-income and minority backgrounds are given equal opportunities?
Yeah, I think the very first step is making sure that kids are coming to school. And so one of the things that I'm very proud of is the work that MCP has always done, but is still continuing to do, and making sure that kids are engaged, families are engaged and a part of what we do. And so it's not uncommon. You walk through an MCP school, you'll see a parent in a classroom. You'll see a parent conversing with an administrator. And that family engagement is another one of those secret sauces that goes into what we do. But again, it's being responsive to the data and responsive to the needs of our kids in the moment. And so, not just testing kids just to test kids, not just putting them through the gamut of curriculum just to do it, but let's be intentional and purposeful about it. Let's take the data, let's react to what the kids need. And that's the first step that we're taking in driving those outcomes.
I like data because it tells a story and it paints a very vivid picture. And I know, Celestin, you're a data guy. Is there any data or success stories that highlight the impact that charter schools are having on students?
Yeah, so, part of the challenge here, like I love data, and one of the challenges I'm having right now is that the state has been messing around in the data a bit. But let me use the data that the state put out just this week. We just got back assessment results for all of our schools across the city. The headline picture, unfortunately, hasn't changed much. Students in Milwaukee continue to trail well behind our state, one of the biggest gaps in the country. Black students in particular across Milwaukee and more than half of the states, black students are educated here in Milwaukee. amongst the worst results in the country. And we've seen it time and time again. It's a story I'm quite frankly sick of telling, but it's the reality, and we got to face it. But then when you look at a school like Milwaukee College Prep, those results are 2 and 3 times sometimes as strong as what we see across the city as a whole. So we know that there are schools that are doing the work, that are engaging parents, that are in the classrooms teaching high quality instruction every day, that are able to get our kids moving, get our kids educated, and put them on a different path and a different trajectory for their future.
Celestin, you recently penned an op-ed in the Journal Sentinel that could be a sermon, and so thank you for writing it. I actually shared it in the Hughes Views Facebook group, so if you guys have not read that op-ed, please read it. It so thoroughly explains all the things that, like what he said in that op-ed, it would take me 17 weeks of radio shows to be able to explain. So thank you so much for that, Celestin. And Al, how can our listeners support Milwaukee College Prep and other organizations focused on closing the opportunity gap for students in Milwaukee?
Yeah, get involved. You can start off by going to our website. Lots of great information there, particularly if you go to the support section of our website. But, we're very, very grassroots. And so call your local campus, get in touch with the administration there, figure out what you can do. I mean, we look at all treasures of time, of talent. And so if there's a special expertise that you want to share with the community, share with our kids, share with our staff, please, I just urge everybody to reach out. But you can find all of that information there on our website.
Al Keith and Celestin Morgan, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys got to come back. Let's do this again.
Anytime.
Anytime. We'd love to.
All right. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This sweetest day, we're turning up the romance. Imagine you and your special someone in a private, luxurious suite at Civic Pool Suites. We're giving away the ultimate getaway, complete with a private pool, fireplace, and all the intimacy you could dream of. For this entire week, listen close, because we will be granting 5 lucky winners an escape to the most romantic destination in the Midwest, Civic Pool Suites, where love and relaxation meet. Tune in all week for your chance to win, only on 101.7 The Truth. This sweetest day, let us take your love to the next level.
This is Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers on 101.7 The Truth.
Everybody's welcome at Outreach, and that's one of the things that makes us special. We do offer services based on a sliding fee, so I always recommend that people call in advance to get all of the details, but oftentimes we can see you for as little as $25 for your whole visit, and that gets your vaccines included. Outreach has nurse visits available for anyone who wants to have their vaccines either the same day or you can schedule ahead. For those, you just need to bring in your ID and your insurance card. You can also schedule a visit with your primary care provider. If you don't have one, we have some that are ready and excited to meet you. So all you have to do is give us a call during normal business hours. That's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And that's 414-727-6320. Or you can always visit us on the website for more information. And that's www.ochc-milw.org.
At Milwaukee College Prep, they believe that every child deserves a chance to reach their full potential. Unfortunately, in Milwaukee, this is not always the case. Research shows the educational opportunity gap between white and black students is twice the national average. This is why Milwaukee College Prep is committed to eliminating this gap. In fact, MCP scholars tested advanced or proficient at a rate nearly 8 times higher than the other predominantly black public schools in Milwaukee. Provide your student with the best educational opportunity by visiting MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com. College bound, character strong.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Civic Pool Suites. Romantic, luxurious, affordable. A place where romance touches paradise and the memories of a lifetime are made. Civic offers a variety of room styles, including the exquisite Chalet Suite, which spans 3 levels and features your own private swimming pool with cascading waterfall, soothing whirlpool tub, a cozy fireplace, and much more to make your stay unforgettable. They are located in Mequon, just north of Milwaukee. Take a virtual tour at Civic.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, this Sweetest Day, we're turning up the romance. Tune in all week because we're giving away the ultimate giveaway, complete with a private pool, fireplace, and the intimacy you could dream of all. Yeah, the intimacy you could dream of at the Civic Pool Suites. Once per day this week, we'll be granting 5 lucky winners an escape to the most romantic destination in all of the Midwest. Tune into all your favorite shows on 1017 The Truth for your chance to win. Only on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Oh, yeah. Join us for our first ever Truth Summit on Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the 3rd Street Market Hall. This exclusive in-person roundtable will examine the state of finances, education, and politics for Black Milwaukee. Dr. Ken will be joined by expert guests like Sherwin Hughes, Jason Fields, Dr. Lita Mallett, and Dr. Glenn Matthews for insights and a lively debate that you can't afford to miss. Reserve your spot for the Truth Summit by visiting 1017thetruth.com. That is 1017thetruth.com. The Truth Summit is sponsored by One Milwaukee, and free food will be catered by Shawnee's Exquisite Catering. Truth Nation 1017 Day, aka Truth Day, is next Thursday, and to celebrate, we're hosting Truth Spirit Week. During Truth Spirit Week, we'll be giving away 10 $25 gift cards to the Pfister Cafe on all of your 1017 The Truth shows. And I read that already. So just listen to the truth all the time. Listen, I see the comments in the YouTube chat. I can't do anything about other hosts' shows and their content. I'm not here for that. I got to worry too much about what I'm doing and my show and the information I'm trying to convey. I'm not over here trying to right the ship of somebody else's show. We offer a variety of different shows, okay? And I know you guys want me to, y'all want to start a beef. I'm not here for beef starting. I don't want to do that. I got enough I need to worry about. I'm not trying to start no beef with somebody I may disagree with. Joe Slasky, I can tell by your last name you in the wrong chat, buddy. Sound like you want a trip to the Quiet Place. The Quiet Place, for those of you that don't know, is when you come into the YouTube chat and you say things that are disrespectful or ignorant, or if you try to bully somebody. The Quiet Place is where you go, where you never come back. You're not able to chat. And here's what I'll say. In these very polarizing political times, ladies and gentlemen, if there is content, whether it be radio or a podcast or any other kind of broadcast, that you fundamentally and vehemently disagree with, don't go after the host and don't attack the people that are listening to that content. Go listen to something else. It just ain't for you. Why would you go to a restaurant where you hate the food and then complain to the staff and the manager and the waitress and the cook about how much you hate the food? Just don't eat there. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is an exquisite restaurant. Most of you don't have taste buds sophisticated enough for how exclusive this menu is. I can't make you like what I serve. Go somewhere else and get you a grilled cheese sandwich. You got infantile taste buds. Go somewhere else. They serve fast food. This ain't fast food. My show is a gourmet meal. My show is courses. My show is it pairs well with a nice Chardonnay. You know what I mean? It's very specific. I know this ain't who the hell I think it is calling my damn line one. I know it. It's not. It can't be. It's not. Why? First of all, Dr. Ken, you got your own show. No. Put them on. Come on. You want to call? Come on. Say what you got to say.
What do you want? I didn't call. I just said you was tripping.
You think I don't have a phone in the studio?
I'm not on today. I said you're tripping.
So because you ain't broadcasting today, you gonna call and invade my show. All right.
Of course. Well, you said put him on. I didn't say put him on. I didn't call your show. I called to talk to the producer.
No, you didn't.
Said put me on.
What you want to talk to the producer for? You ain't working today, man. You shouldn't be calling here at all.
None of your business. None of your business. See, now you're trying to get in another host's business. Didn't you just tell people not to do that?
You just called my show. This is my show. This is 833-212-1017 belongs to Sherwin Hughes between 9 and 12. And as far as I can turn at 8:12,
it belongs to whoever called.
You're a racist. How's that sound?
I hate myself?
You're a racist. Goodbye, Dr. Ken. I've got to finish my show, and I don't want you having the last word.
Have a great weekend.
All right. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Why? What is this, man? Yeah, I don't have a show today. All right. Black Votes Matter is in town doing a bunch of Get Out the Vote events all weekend long. If you go to the Hughes Views Facebook group, there's a listing of those events. And I guess that's it. Well, what did we learn today? Black men don't want to support Kamala Harris because they're probably sexist. And we also learned that I give the best relationship advice on the planet. On that note, thank you guys for listening. It's been a very productive week. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.
Truth Nation.